Yeah, we didn't actually believe that we'd be here where we are right now. And in February, we thought we probably would be a struggling ball club, and it would take us some time to get together, and hopefully our pitching would come around. We could find somebody in the bullpen, and some of the younger ball players getting a little bit more experience, that we would hopefully come on stronger towards the end of the year. But certainly not the kind of year that we've had.
It's been a great year for the Miami Hurricanes. They've won 59 and lost 15, including a 24-game winning streak. They spent 7 weeks ranked #1 in the nation. The Hurricanes have won by scrapping for runs and making the big plays defensively. The result is Miami's 8th appearance in the College World Series. The Hurricanes will open up against Stanford. Mark Marquis's team went 46-13 this year, winning the Pac-10 Conference Southern Division and the West 1 Regional. It's a team with a lot of experience, including several players who've been in the College World Series before. Center fielder Mark Davis, who's having a great year, played well in the 1983 World Series. Senior shortstop John Verducci, a 3-year starter, anchors the infield defense. And senior first baseman Rick Lundblade provides the power with 24 homers and 89 RBIs. It's Stanford against Miami in Game 3 of the College World Series. Welcome live to Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska for Game 3 of the College World Series, the Stanford Cardinal and the Miami Hurricanes. Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Rosen. I'm starting my big left-hander again today, Paul Splittorff. It's a pleasure to be back with you once again for the College World Series, and a really good game featuring a contrast in styles today. Stanford with a set lineup, and Miami, the team that's had a scramble all year.
Ron Frazier would like you to think that he doesn't belong here in Omaha. He's had to manage a little bit this year. It took a long time for things to fall together for Miami. A lot of players are playing new positions, but they're playing well now.
Now, for this Miami team, it's a team that's had to really scramble for runs, and the running game is so important to them.
It's very important to him, and Frazier would lead you to believe that he does not have good speed on this team, so it means that the players are going to have to get good leads. They're going to have to study the pitcher, get a good jump.
They really steal a lot of bases. They have set a lot of records. Look at the numbers for Miami. How do they do it?
They know how to play baseball. He's got good players there, and don't let him fool you. He knows what he's doing. He's a good teacher, and the kids know how to play.
Now, Stanford will have to deal with that. They've got a left-hander on the mound and a catcher in John Ramos with a strong arm. But Ron Frazier says that will not deter his running game today.
No, it doesn't make any difference, really, who's behind the plate. We've got to play our ball game. We're not a power-hitting ball club, so we have to run. And whether he throws people out or not, we still have to run. We still have to hit and run, and, you know, that's our game. And if they take that away from us, we're in a lot of trouble.
Now for the Cardinal, the Stanford Cardinal. This is a team, as we mentioned, with a set lineup, a lot of experience, several seniors, several players have been in the College World Series before, and that certainly has to help them.
That's going to help them a lot. They've been here before. They know how to play together. The shortstop, second baseman, both 3-year starters. Verducci at shortstop is one of the outstanding ones in the country. They are the leaders on the field.
Pete Stanisic is the second baseman. They turn the double play so well, and as you've heard many times before in baseball, you've got to be strong up the middle to be successful.
Strong up the middle, very experienced. They work so well together, it's like having 2 more coaches on the field.
Okay, our man down on the field with a field eye view of what's happening is Irv Brown, and he's with the head coach of the Stanford Cardinal, Mark Marquis. Let's go to Irv right now.
Thanks, Sam. Mark, you're playing a relay team today. Your pitcher has got to give Ramos a chance to throw.
Yeah, Jeff Ballard has to hold him close. They've got over 200 stolen bases, so if we can get Jeff to hold him close, we'll give Ramos a chance to throw him out, hopefully.
Wet down that field and get after him.
Get it real wet.
Back upstairs, guys.
Thank you, Irv. Now, we talked about the experience of Stanford. A lot of seniors in the lineup. We talked about Verducci at short, Stanisic at second, also Lundblade, the first baseman. But a key man is their center fielder, Mark Davis, a junior. Let's take a look at him. Mark Davis was a freshman All-American in 1983, but experienced a terrible slump in '84, something he still can't explain.
Well, I'm not sure. I came in my freshman year. I did pretty well, hit 310 or whatever it was. The next year, after you initially come in and do well, you expect to dominate. And I think I may have expected too much of myself, and things didn't go well.
Though Davis faltered at the plate, the other facets of his game did not. Coach Mark Marquis says his attitude never changed.
No, Mark Davis, even last year as a sophomore, when he had his off year, he helped us. He helped us win games with his defense, and the few hits that he may have gotten were big hits, RBIs. Mark has never been a problem that way. He's one of the hardest workers on our team, and even when he had that bad year, he contributed and helped our team.
Mark's brother is Mike Davis of the Oakland A's, who experienced the same problems last year.
I don't know. It may have been the same reasoning that I went bad, and that he did well his first year and wanted to do too much in his second year. This year, both of us are more relaxed, and we've just gone out and tried to do the best we can. And luckily, we're both having pretty good years.
Mark Davis's belief in himself is what has spearheaded his comeback in '85. He's back in top form and happy again.
The fact that I know I can play, and I had to prove it to myself, because after having a lot of years of going pretty good, and having one year like last year where things just didn't go well altogether, it makes you wonder at the higher levels as well. Maybe the competition's caught up with you. I didn't really think that, and this year has proved my thought process correct.
Mark Davis, a very key player for Stanford. Also key is the pitching matchup. The ace, Jeff Ballard, the left-hander, goes for Stanford. Right-hander Kevin Sherry, only 4-4, goes for Miami.
Don't let that record surprise you, Sam. He was penciled in as the #1 starter for Miami this year. A back injury took him out. Dan Davies is the #2 pitcher, is 15-1. So that's probably a little bit better indication of how Sherry is.
Okay, this is a big day of sports action right here on ESPN. We started off with this College World Series game. We'll also take you to Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey for the USFL game between the New Jersey Generals and the Memphis Showboats, with Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire standing by to bring it to you live. But right now, we're set for Game 3 of the College World Series, the Stanford Cardinal and the Miami Hurricanes. Game 3 of the College World Series is being brought to you by your local Ace Hardware man. Remember, Ace is the place. The Stanford Cardinal, winners of the West 1 Regional, are coached by Mark Marquis, who's in his 9th year. Leading off is second baseman Pete Stanisic, a senior, a 3-year starter. Batting second, third baseman Ruben Amaro, a sophomore. He's the son of former major leaguer Ruben Amaro. Batting third, center fielder Mark Davis, a junior, has 13 homers, 65 RBIs. Batting fourth, the leading hitter on the team, first baseman Rick Runblade, a senior, hitting .402, 24 homers, 89 RBIs. Batting fifth, the designated hitter Mike DeBenin, a junior, is hitting .296. Batting sixth, left fielder Walt Harris, a junior with a lot of speed. He has 23 stolen bases. Batting seventh, the right fielder Toy Cook. He's a starting cornerback on the football team. He's a sophomore. Batting eighth, the catcher John Ramos, hitting .324 with 68 RBIs. And batting ninth, senior shortstop John Verducci, hitting .291 with 55 RBIs. Check the Miami defense. That's Chris Hart at first base. At second, it's Don Rowland with World Series experience. Rusty DeBold is the shortstop. And around at third, John Leake, the leading hitter on the ball club. In left field is Mike Fiore, a freshman. In center field, a guy can really go get him. Rick Ricciardi, good speed, gets a good jump on the ball. In the right field, the veteran Calvin James. He's been in the World Series before. Julio Solis is behind the plate. He caught in the World Series last year. And on the mound is the right-hander Kevin Sherry, a record of 4-4. We had a chance to talk to head coach Ron Fraser to discuss what his right-hander will throw in this afternoon's game.
Kevin Sherry, our starting pitcher, is a junior. We expected him to be our #1 guy this year. Had some back problems early. Has come on. We think in our regional championship game, he pitched real well. He's got a great curveball, and when he gets it over, he has a fastball in the high 80s, and is very effective if he gets the curveball over, and that's been the problem this year. He had a little trouble getting it over, but when he does, he's very effective.
Okay, you heard it from the head man. Kevin Sherry is set to go, and leading it off for the Stanford Cardinal is Pete Stanisic, the second baseman.
Number 7, Pete Stanisic, second base.
Game 3 of the College World Series. It's a double elimination tournament. Game 4 will have Texas against Arizona. That will be on later tonight. Sherry's first pitch, the fastball popped in the air, short right field. Calvin James shading his eye, having trouble with the sun. He lost it. It drops in, and Stanisic gets second with a double. Well, you saw James fighting the sun, and never saw the ball.
Right field is going to be a tough sun field for the next couple hours here at Rosenblatt Stadium. Looking directly into that sun, using the glasses out there. Never really picked up the ball once it got up to the top of its flight. He was lost from the beginning. You really need to disguise this a little bit, try to hold the runner up, make it look like you're going to try to catch the ball. He was lost early and showed it.
So, a big break already for Stanford. Here's Ruben Amaro, a sophomore, a third baseman. Right back up the middle. Nice play by Sherry. Holds the runner, throws in the dirt, but Hart digs it out. Aimed that throw a little bit, but a good play to get the comebacker. And there's one man out.
Kevin Sherry almost made a big mistake right there. An easy one hopper back to the mound is a very routine play. Sometimes it gets so easy that you forget the fundamentals of your step and throw. He stood flat-footed that time, made a low throw to first base, almost threw that one away.
Here's the young man we featured moments ago, Mark Davis. Center fielder. He's a junior from San Diego. 13 home runs, 65 RBIs. Had an off year last year after having a great freshman year. Played in the 1983 College World Series. Stanisic dancing around at second base. That pitch is a strike. Stanisic, the senior, leads away from second. One man out. Top half of the first inning. Fastball misses inside. Outfield bunching in the middle for Mark Davis. They give him the lines in left and right. You see there's the defense. Not too deep in center field. Ricciardi doesn't play deep. There's James and right. They give him the lines. Breaking ball hangs up.
Ron Frazier said that Kevin Sherry needs to pitch well with that curveball. He's got a good curveball. Also has a very good fastball. It's a little bit straight, and that's why he's going to need the good curveball to be successful. The velocity is there. He could use a little bit more movement on the fastball.
Again, Stanisic trying to disrupt the rhythm of the pitcher by dancing around off second base. Does that bother a pitcher at all, Paul, when you look back and you see him jumping around at second?
It can bother the pitcher. It can also bother the hitter. And a lot of hitters will tell their teammates, hey, I see you back there. I don't like it. Stand still.
Count is 3-1 on Davis. Changeup hangs inside. Stanford with runners at first and second with one man out, and the big cleanup hitter, Rick Lundblade, coming up. Kirk Mason is the first base coach, the assistant coach, and Dean Stotts, assistant coach, coaches at third, with the head man Mark Marquis in the dugout on the first base side. And here is the power man for Stanford, Rick Lundblade, hitting .402, 24 homers, and 89 runs batted in. And Mark Marquis says he's just the best hitter we have. He is an all-around good hitter.
He's got that great size at 6'5", 230, stands a long ways off the plate, dives in at the ball, likes to get his arms extended. To be successful against him, a pitcher really needs to crowd him.
Trouble early for Miami. Solis throws down high as Chris Hart snuck in behind Mark Davis, but Davis got in there.
And we can look for Solis to do that throughout the day. He's got a great arm. He likes to throw to all the bases. He's got a good quick release.
Saw that big lead by Davis. Throw is a little high.
You can get the big lead because the first baseman is playing way back, but you also have to be leery of that pickoff, and it's up to the first base coach to alert a base runner.
Sherry puts the changeup in there. It's 2-1. Gus Steiner is calling balls and strikes for Game 3. This is his 6th College World Series. 2 men on, 1 man out for Stanford in the top of the first. The fastball is over, strike 2. Good pitch.
Look at the arms on that man. They talked to us about it in the meetings today. He was a fanatic for the workout room.
Right.
Really enjoys that part of the game.
Was 6'5", 195 when he came to Stanford. Now goes 230, 235. Runners go! Hit in the air to right field. Calvin James has no trouble here. Makes the catch. Throw into second. In time, it's a double play. Stanisiak did not get back. The runners were going. Stanisiak did not make it back. Heads-up play by Calvin James. Throwing into DeBold, the shortstop, covering for the double play, and Miami gets out of the jam. One man is left on. Stanford does not score. So big defensive play right here.
The key to this play is going to be made at third base with John Leake faking a ground ball to him to hold that runner at third base. Right there. Now Leake is out of the picture. He is on the inside of the infield there. Had made a fake like he was getting a ground ball to hold that runner at third base. The jump back to second base was not good, creating a double play situation.
Just got Stanisiak getting back. So Stanford gets a hit on the sun-filled double that bothered Calvin James. They leave one man on. Miami coming to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. There is no score in the game. The Miami Hurricanes, winners of the Atlantic Regional, are coached by Ron Fraser, who's in his 23rd year. Leading off is right fielder Calvin James, a senior, who's making his third College World Series appearance. Batting second, the left fielder Mike Fiore, a freshman who's got a lot of speed. He's stolen 27 bases. Batting third baseman John Leake, a senior who set a school record with 25 doubles. Batting fourth, designated hitter Chris Magno, a junior from Staten Island who has 7 home runs. Batting fifth, first baseman Chris Hart, a senior. He's hot right now. He's hitting .297 with 7 home runs. Batting sixth, second baseman Don Rowland, a senior who's got 24 doubles and is hitting .329. Batting seventh, shortstop Rusty DeBold, a junior from Cocoa, Florida. He's hitting .291. Batting eighth is the catcher Julio Solis, a senior from Carroll City, Florida. He played in the 1984 College World Series. And batting ninth is center fielder Rick Ricciardi, a junior from Orlando. He's stolen 30 bases this season. First baseman is Rick Lundblade for Stanford. Pete Stanisiak is at second. The senior, John Verducci, another senior, is at short. Sophomore Ruben Amaro plays at third. In the outfield, Walt Harris is in left field. He's a junior, also plays football. Junior Mark Davis in center field. And sophomore Toy Cook is in right field. He, too, a football player. The catcher, sophomore John Ramos. He's got a great arm. We'll see him throw today. And on the mound is the senior from Billings, Montana, Jeff Ballard. What a year he's had, 14-2. And Mark Marquis, the coach, talked about his ace.
Jeff Ballard is our starting pitcher. He's a left-hander. He's the ace of our staff. He's 14-2. Got an average fastball, but his 2 pitches are a hard slider and a slow curveball. He's been the key man for our staff all year, and we hope to go all the way with him the whole 9 innings.
Calvin James leads off, and what a catch in right field by Toy Cook. Running one-handed grab by the right fielder. Running down that hard line drive hit by Calvin James on the very first pitch from Jeff Ballard.
Good aggressive hitting by Miami. Toy Cook in right field is a cornerback for the Stanford football team. Those are usually the best athletes on your team. He shows his athletic ability right here, going a long ways to make that catch over the shoulder.
Left fielder Mike Fiore steps in. Oh! Ballard pitched a great game in the regional championship, beat Pepperdine with a 3-hitter as Stanford advanced to the championship. Fiore's had a good year, just a freshman. Up the middle, Ballard fields his position nicely. There's 2 men out. So both pitchers have handled the comebackers.
They're both good athletes, good defensive players. Jeff Ballard, his fastball, probably in the low 80s. It's a good college fastball. Nothing wrong with that fastball. He's going to have to pitch with his slider and his curveball. Show the fastball, don't get hurt with it. That ball to right field, the first pitch of the game was on a fastball and got drilled right off the bat.
Here's the leading hitter on the Miami team, John Leake. Leake is a senior from Sacramento, California, hitting .348. Breaking ball got the inside corner. There has been a change in the Miami lineup, a late change just before game time. Coach Ron Fraser inserted Glenn Alina, a junior, in the number 4 spot in the lineup in the designated hitter spot, replacing Chris Magno. That one's line into left center, and another fine play. Walt Harris Harris with a diving catch in the outfield. So both cornerbacks on the football team come up with outstanding defensive plays on the baseball team in the outfield. They make the grab. First inning is over. Game 3 of the College World Series. Stanford and Miami. No score. Fine defensive play in the outfield by the Stanford Cardinal. We've got some great USFL football action coming up. From Omaha, we will take you to the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where the Memphis Showboats taking on the New Jersey Generals. Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire standing by to bring you all the action live. It should be a real good game, so stay with us. And immediately following USFL action, it's back to Omaha for Game 4 of the College World Series. Tonight, Texas takes on Arizona. Fine plays in the outfield by Stanford.
Mark Marquis told us this morning that we were going to like his outfield. He's got great speed. These guys can cover a lot of room. They'll need to here in Omaha. This is a good-sized ballpark at 370 up the alleys, 420 to center. You're going to see us find a catch right there, as you'll see all week long or at any level of baseball. That was a great play.
Walt Harris. There's Mark Marquis, the fine coach of the Stanford Cardinal in his 9th year. This is his 3rd trip to the College World Series, 5th overall for Stanford. Breaking ball is up high to designated hitter Mike DeBennon. DeBennon, a junior from Huntington Beach, California, hitting .296. What a pitch. Line down the line and into the corner. That'll be a double for DeBennon. Run down by Fiore. And Stanford again with a leadoff double. Last time it was because of the sun. When Stanisak opened up the first inning, outs, a runner at second, nobody out, and again Kevin Sherry will have to try and work out of trouble.
Mike DeBennon is more a left center, right center type hitter, likes to hit the ball up the middle, but it's a breaking ball, mistake breaking ball up in the strike zone. He has the capability to pull those mistakes.
Hit that ball hard. And you see Fiore going down in the corner to get it. Walt Harris, who made that fine catch, steps in. Junior batting .327. Again, the outfield bunching towards center, giving Stanford the lines. Not too deep. Fastball hit foul.
Sam, that's really a pretty good idea to bunch your outfielders. A ball down in the corner is going to be a double anyhow. Defensively, you would like your outfield to take away something. If you're going to cover the lines, you're going to give away too much up the alleys. Most of the balls go to the alleys, and they've got a pretty quick pitcher out here on the mound, and you got to think that the balls aren't going to go down the lines too much, and you want to take something away.
One strike pitch to Harris. Breaking ball got the outside corner. Irv Brown, how does it look so far on from your vantage point?
Well, ground level, Sam, interesting. Wanted to mention to Paul and get an opinion. Looks like Kevin is trying to come on the hands with the fastball because he doesn't throw it that hard. That's dangerous, yet that's really the way you got to pitch these people.
Solis with that inside target. There's a good fastball. Got the inside corner, and Harris is struck out looking. Check the umpiring crew this afternoon for Game 3. That is Gus Steiner umping behind the plate. This is his 6th College World Series. Dick Zivick at first base. This is College World Series #1 for him. Dan Peterson, also a rookie, is at second. Murray Stray, a veteran. Umpire is at third base. This is the 3rd College World Series for Murray Stray. Strike one to Toy Cook, the sophomore right fielder, who too made a fine catch in the bottom half of the first inning. Runner at second with one man out for Stanford. Again, the fake pickoff move.
A reaction to Irv's comment about the fastball in on the hands. When you have that good velocity, you do want to tie up the hitters. Now later on in the later innings, he might not have that good fastball. Then you go out on the outside part of the play with it.
Breaking ball is bunted foul. Bunting for a base hit was Toy Cook. Cook, also a member of the football team, and with not all that much baseball experience, did not play baseball in high school, but has come on very well in Stanford. Good athlete.
Came from a small high school that didn't play much baseball. It's been a very pleasant surprise for Mark Marquis. Very happy the way the sophomore is playing.
That pitch misses low and away. And again, a little dancing by the runner at second. We saw Stanisiak do that in the first inning. And DeBennon trying to distract the pitcher, Kevin Sherry. Count is 1-2 on Toy Cook. Just missed the outside corner. Sherry wanted that one.
Might have wanted that pitch, but really very little that he could do with that pitch. He's a line drive hitter that will use the whole field. He's really not trying to pull. He's just trying to make solid contact. But that pitch right there was an outstanding one. He didn't need a lot of luck to do anything with that one.
Count is 2-2. Fastball hit on the ground to second. Roland over to Hart. 2 men out. DeBennon moves to third. 2 men down, the runner at third for Stanford. See a lot of clouds in the sky, partly cloudy skies. Winds out of the south at 15 miles per hour, but gusting a little bit at times. Temperature 79 degrees. Sun coming in and out of the clouds, and we saw the sun bother Calvin James in the first inning. Here is John Ramos. He's having an outstanding year. Fine catcher. Rooted out of Tampa, Florida. Ramos with a great arm. Hitting in the number 8 hole, and look at the production, hitting .324, 68 RBIs, second on the team.
There are some pretty good hitters in the bottom part of this Stanford lineup that get a lot of production out of them.
Sherry misses outside. It's 2-0.
For any viewers that we have not from the Midwest saw that tornado watch, that may kind of scare you a little bit. Being from the Midwest, when they put warning up, that means there's one in the area. So I'm not too concerned right now. But keep looking over your shoulder just in case.
2-0 to Ramos. Fastball on the ground to third. Leak has got it. Across to Hart, and the side's retired. So a leadoff double for the second inning in a row for Stanford. But once again, they strand the runner. There's no score at the end of an inning and a half. Shut out. We're at Rosenblatt Stadium, home of the College World Series. Pretty big ballpark. It takes a good poke to get it out. 343 down the left field line. 370 in the power alley, which is not too bad for the guys who like to hit to left center and right center. Straightaway center, now that's a long cloud, 420 feet. Over in right center, as I mentioned, also 370 and 343 down the line and right. Good ballpark. When the wind is blowing out, the balls carry well here.
Well, this is a AAA ballpark. The Omaha Royals play here. It's the top farm club of the Kansas City Royals. This ballpark actually sits on top of a hill, and the windy conditions do affect a game here. With the wind blowing out, you'd think the stands would knock it down a little bit. These stands aren't all that high, and the ball and the wind will get to a ball about the time that a fly ball is leaving the infield. You will get quite a bit of carry here.
Here is Greg Alina. As I mentioned earlier, this is a late lineup change. He is the designated hitter. He leads Miami in home runs with 11. He's got 11 home runs. He's only had 91 at-bats this season.
Good production. A backup catcher throughout his career at Miami is just now starting to play.
And that one is high in the air, deep to left field. Harris drifting back, still going back, and makes the catch on the warning track. Carried a little farther than Walt Harris thought it would. I think he had a little trouble picking it up off the bat.
He may have had a little trouble picking it up off the bat, but that again is that wind that's blowing out straight out to center field. A medium, well-hit fly ball ends up to be a little bit of an adventure, a little bit of scare for Stanford because it's caught on the track. He drifts back 25, 30 feet on this one and does make the catch right there at the edge of the track.
1 man out, and Chris Hart, the first baseman, steps in. Hart hitting .297. It's a curveball over. And you see the wind starting to pick up again, blowing out towards left field at about 15 miles per hour. The left-hander Jeff Ballard, what a year he's having, going against Chris Hart. Hart has been red hot lately, almost as red hot as his hair, which is red hot.
He spent a good part of the year hitting around 210 to 220, now at 297. In fact, he's gone up 80 points in the last 4 weeks of the season, so very streaky hitter.
Had been batting in the number 7 spot. They almost batted him 4th in our talks with Coach Ron Fraser today. Had an idea to bat him 4th or 5th and just decided, hey, 5th is okay too. Hart misses the fastball, counts 2-2.
He must have had a vibration or something. Something had to tell him to adjust that lineup right in the middle of the meeting.
What a year Ballard is having on the mound. As I mentioned, this is his 20th start. Good breaking ball. He struck him out. Jeff Ballard strikes out Chris Hart. There's 2 men down. Hart walks away talking to umpire Gus Steiner.
Batting 6, the lineup for Miami, number 4.
An off-speed pitch down in the strike zone. Chris Hart looking for something else, unable to pull the trigger.
Fastball misses to the number 6 man in the order, Don Rowland. On the ground behind second is Stanisic. Over to first in time. The side's retired. 1, 2, 3 for Stanford in the second inning. We've played 2. Game 3 of the College World Series. Stanford and Miami. There's no score. 9-1 and 2 coming up for Stanford. That's the Superstar Award given to the person or group or organization who has done the most to advance college baseball in the country, and that has been awarded to ESPN this year by Collegiate Baseball. And our thanks to Lou Pavlovich Jr. and Sr., the editors and publishers of Collegiate Baseball magazine, for acknowledging ESPN. We've tried very hard to promote college baseball, and certainly the coaches and the players that we've been around all season long have done a great job of enhancing their game as well.
Everybody's been so cooperative for us, coming in and seeing new players every week, and they've been very helpful as far as with the names, the pronunciations, what kind of players there are, background work. College baseball is a very exciting game, and I'm very happy that it's catching on.
Top half of the third inning. John Verducci, the senior shortstop, leads it off. Mark Marquis says of Verducci, he thinks he's the best defensive shortstop in college baseball. Makes all the plays.
Also driving 55 runs for you. This is another one of those good hitters in the bottom part of this lineup.
Right. Breaking pitch misses. Stanford has led off each of the first 2 innings with a double. Had a pop fly double in the first inning by Pete Stanisic that was lost in the sun by Calvin James. A line double by Mike DeBennon in the second. But each time they've stranded the runners. Up the middle and through to center field. A leadoff single for John Verducci. Third hit of the ball game for Stanford. Each time it's been the leadoff man.
John Verducci, very typical of all the Stanford hitters, trying to hit the ball back up the middle. Line drive type hitters. They've got good knowledge of the strike zone. Very disciplined hitters. Don't swing at balls out of the strike zone. Do what they can do. They run well. Good, solid baseball player.
Back to the top of the order. Verducci's got good speed at first, so we'll watch to see if something's happening with Pete Stanisic, the senior second baseman. Stanisic handles the bat very well, hitting .344, a 3-year starter. He's from Park Forest, Illinois.
And we can look for him to take a pitch or even 2 to give Verducci a good look at that pitcher and his move to the plate.
Fastball is low, ball 1. Solis behind the plate has got a good arm. Infield is playing for 2 with Leak, the third baseman, in even with the bag. See the infield defense. Sherry's moved to first, and Verducci dives back.
As soon as Stanford gets a runner on base, all the base runners and the coaches go to work to study that pitcher. They want to see if they can pick up something in his delivery either to first or to the plate, something that they can key on for later on in the ball game when they might want to run.
Breaking pitch, got the outside corner. Good pitch by Sherry. Ron Fraser feels his right-hander, Kevin Sherry, has got to get the breaking ball over to be effective. And he's looking for 6 or 7 innings from Sherry to get him to late in the ball game. And he's got his ace reliever, Rick Rather, out there in the bullpen, who's got 19 saves. Outstanding relief pitcher. Pitch out, nothing happening. Counts 2-1. Solis looking into his dugout to check a sign, see if they want to do anything.
And a pitch out. count now 2-1 shows some faith in your starting pitcher, his ability to get the ball over the plate. You don't like to get your pitcher behind in the count too often with a pitch out.
Took a little off that pitch and got the outside corner. It's 2-2.
Kevin Sherry will do that occasionally with the curveball. Does not throw a straight change or does not make much use of it. He will change speeds with that curveball.
Nobody out, a runner at first for Stanford. Top half of the third, there's no score. 2-2 pitch. Like a slider that just missed the outside corner. And the count's full. Verducci at first base is checking the dugout for a sign. Stanasek, the hitter, checking down. Also looking down to see if there's anything happening on the full count.
And Verducci may be running with 3-2.
And they almost got him. They had him leaning. Verducci was leaning towards second. Sherry with a quick move, and Verducci just got back.
This is a great time to throw to first base. It does look like Verducci was moving, kind of cheating a little bit there. Good quick move to first base by Kevin Sherry. Very quick feet. He's got a good jump move, good snap throw. He'll need it today against a quick ball club.
Mark was questioning whether Sherry balked on the play. Irv Brown, what did you see?
I'll tell you what, he's tough, and I wanted to mention this to Paul. When he holds on, talking about Sherry, he's got his head down. Paul, you really can't see to first base if you're a right-handed pitcher, but the runner doesn't know that.
Again, the move to first. Verducci's back.
Irv, you will see a lot of pitchers do that because one of the things runners will key on will be where you are looking. If you tuck your chin, as he does, right there on his left shoulder, you can see out of the corner of your eye. If the runner leaves your vision, you know he has too big a lead. Plus, he can't really key on anything because he can't tell whether you're looking at him or not. He can't see when you look away to throw to the plate. You take away one of his keys that he might be looking at. That way, he's just going to have to look at your shoulder, maybe your knee, maybe your left heel.
Kevin Sherry right now looking in for the sign with a full count on Pete Stanasek. Verducci is running on the ground over the pitcher's head. Roland will have to make the play to first. And there's one man out. So the hit and run gets the runner Verducci over to second base. Once again, Stanford with a man in scoring position. One man out.
This ball not hit all that hard at the second baseman. Doubtful with the speed that Stanford has that they could have turned this double play, but when you move the runners, you pretty well guarantee that there won't be a double play.
One man out and a runner at second. Stanford had two men on in the first inning. And a big double play took them out of it. And a leadoff double in the second. Leadoff single here in the third. Ruben Amaro steps in. Takes the ball high. Amaro was the designated hitter last year. He's moved in to play third base, and they expect him to take over at second base next year when Stanasek leaves after this season. At the outside corner. Amaro is a switch hitter. Sprays the ball around.
Switch hitter also has pretty good power from the left side. All 6 of his home runs have been hit from or as a left-handed hitter.
Nothing but breaking balls right now from Sherry to Amaro. Count is 2-1. Again, the breaking ball line deep to left field. Fiore going back and makes the catch. Going back to second base is John Verducci. Seeing some good outfield play. Mike Fiore, the freshman, going back on that deep drive. And there's 2 men out.
Ruben Amaro going with that pitch, the ball up and away in the strike zone, not trying to pull it, even though his power is to right center field. Taking what the pitcher gives him, drive the ball to left field, force a good play by the outfielder.
And at that point, seeing the Miami defense work effectively in the outfield as they're playing the alleys. This is Mark Davis, the center fielder, with 2 men out and a runner at second. No score in the ball game. We're in the top of the third. Curveball misses outside from Sherry. Mark Davis, whose brother plays with the Oakland A's. Outstanding performer. Good year, hitting .351 with 13 home runs. Up the middle and through a base hit. Around third is Verducci. He'll score. And Stanford goes into the lead 1-0. So Stanford going up the middle as Mark Davis grounds one into center field. For Davis, his 66th RBI this season.
Mark Davis got a fastball, just trying to make good solid contact with 2 outs. There's really nothing special to do as far as driving in the run. Just make solid contact. Drove that ball down on the ground, bounces the ball over the middle. Stanford finally makes good on getting their leadoff man in the inning.
That's
Get him
right.
home. 1 out of 3.
The cleanup man, Rick Lundblade, is in. Davis has got good speed at first base. He's stolen 15 bases. Lundblade, though, you don't want to take the bat out of his hands. Want him to swing. Count is 2-0. Lundblade has 90 base hits and 89 RBIs. Came into the game hitting .402. Davis with a good lead at first. Back easily. Don't forget, Game 4 is tonight following USFL football. Arizona going against Texas. That should be an outstanding ball game. John Sanders and Jim Price will bring it to you. And tomorrow we get into what is called the losers bracket. The teams that have lost first-round games will meet up. And 2 teams will be eliminated tomorrow.
First day of elimination play.
Right here, Miami Hurricanes, champions in 1982. Miami has been to the College World Series 7 of the last 8 years. What a great tradition, what a great baseball program Ron Fraser has at the University of Miami. 1-0 pitch to Lundblade. No, it's throw to first again. Sherry working on Mark Davis. Davis wants to clean off a little bit.
That will wear a base runner out a little bit, throwing over, especially with him diving back. Now, he does have a big lead over there. Really do doubt that Stanford will have him running, because they do like to have Lundblade swinging the bat, and you can be sure that Miami would pitch around him if given the opportunity. So he may be going. We may be totally shocked here if he takes off, but I really doubt it. But he does have a good lead.
See the numbers on Lundblade. He's really come on strong. That one's in the dirt. Solis with a good job of blocking it. Solis is a good defensive catcher. You watch him during the course of the game move around, set up the target, give that low target. Really does a good job. Look at this block.
Sam, a lot of that comes with footwork. Catchers are not really known for their speed, but a lot of them have quick feet, and they have to stay squared up to that ball. They want to keep their body right in front of it, not turned either left or right, because that ball hits them is not going to squirt off to the side. They want it bouncing straight out in front of them, as that one did.
Count is 2-0 to Rick Lundblade. You saw the numbers on Lundblade. Got off to a slow start this year, mostly because they feel he was trying to hit home runs. And then they got him back down to just concentrate on hitting, and he has really come on. That fastball misses. 3-0. In his last 41 games, he is 73 for 160, a .456 batting average.
Well, Sam, I think we see that with a lot of players. And you talk about how you have to learn to play within yourself. Do the things you can do. He's a good hitter. And that's what Mark was trying to get him to do. He said, just do what you can do. You'll hit home runs.
They let him hit 3-0 down the right field line. Slices foul. Wow. Lundblade hit that 3-0 pitch hard.
On a replay here, I think we're going to see he's got a very short stride, keeps his weight back. Watch that left foot there. That is a short stride, stays back on the ball. He's got the kind of power. He drove that ball a long ways down the right field line. He doesn't need to pull a ball and to try to hit for power. He just needs to hit the ball solid, make good contact, let the ball go wherever it'll go. He can reach the fences at almost any field.
And you see the confidence they have in him as a hitter, giving him the green light. 3-0.
They want him hitting.
Count is 3-1. Fastball hit deep to right field, but right there is James. He leaps and makes the grab. It started to take off on Calvin James, hit hard by Lundblade. But Stanford has broken through with a run on a couple of base hits at the end of 2.5. Game 3 of the College World Series. Stanford leads Miami 1-0. Tough play in the outfield for Calvin James, but he went up and got it. Take a look at that play again, and you see the right-handed hitter go to right field hard, line drive, hit by Lundblad.
We got done talking about his power, how he does not need to pull the ball to hit home runs. Right fielder right there, Calvin James, probably not bothered by the sun. The sun is up pretty high. That was a low line drive, but probably also surprised about the strength of the right-handed hitter. Has not seen many balls hit to right field that carry like that. Is actually driven and forces him back like it did.
Shortstop.
Look at Calvin James in the Miami dugout. The captain of the Miami Hurricanes. Missed the entire 1983 season with a knee injury. Rusty DeBold, the shortstop, leads it off in the bottom half of the third inning. Miami still looking for its first base runner of the ball game, as Jeff Ballard has set down the first 6 men in a row. Oh! I want to correct something I said earlier about Toy Cook, the right fielder of Stanford. He did indeed play high school baseball, was not highly recruited out of high school. Not too many people knew about him, but he played well. In fact, his high school won 2 championships.
Just got a call from his high school coach informing us of that. Another thing that ESPN does, it gives family and friends an opportunity to watch these guys when they go on and play college ball, and that's got to be entertainment for them.
And we thank the coach for that call and for setting us straight. Count is 3-1 on Rusty DeBold. Bold asked for time, as it looked like Ballard was quick pitching. Almost. There's the big left-hander. Up in the air to right field. Cook goes back to the warning track. The ball carries out of the ballpark. A home run for Rusty DeBold. When it started out, it didn't look like it would go, but it just kept carrying, and Cook just turned his back to the plate, raced back to the wall, but it carried out, and the score is tied 1-1. A home run for Rusty DeBold, his 4th of the year.
A 3-1 pitch. Hitter has the opportunity to go up there and look for a particular pitch in an area. Got his fastball over the plate. Hit the ball well to right center field, although the ball is carrying very well. It's a good warm day here in Omaha with the wind carrying out. You do get some lift.
First hit of the ball game for Miami. They tie at 1-1. Solis calls for time, trying to break the rhythm of the big left-hander, Jeff Ballard. Ballard gets the ball back. He wants to throw it right away. Good fastball. Julio Solis has not had a good year with a bat, hitting .222. That pitch in the dirt, and the appeal at first, he did not go around.
Good pitch by Jeff Ballard there with an 0-2 count, throwing something down in the dirt. Solis is a free swinger. You get ahead in the count, a lot of times these guys will swing at balls out of the strike zone.
That one stays up high, 2-2. Down low. Ron Fraser wanted Solis in the lineup today. There's the head coach of Miami for 23 years. The head man. Look at that. 927 wins. Solis drives one through, a base hit. Diving attempt by Pete Staniszek. Almost came up with it. Solis with a base hit. And Miami with a man on and nobody out. And let's see if they do indeed start using their running game now.
Number 6, Rick Ricciardi.
Solis, a free swinger, got a fastball up in the strike zone. I asked Ron Fraser this morning in talking about this player, I said, do you think that he looks a lot like Manny Sanguillen, also a free swinger with Pittsburgh? And he said, yes, very much so.
Rick Ricciardi, the center fielder, takes a strike. Ricciardi, hitting .259 on the year, has 30 stolen bases. He's a junior. Good outfielder. Squares, lays it down, third base. Amaro goes to first in time. It's a sacrifice for Rick Ricciardi. Solis goes to second with one man out. There's the third baseman, Ruben Amaro, who made the play. Let's take a look at this play again in synchro motion as we get an idea of what was happening while this play unfolded.
Fairly hard bunt down the third baseline. Ruben Amaro really no choice going to second base. Miami has to do these little things, moving runners along, stealing bases, because they don't have the power to slug it out with some of these stronger teams.
Back to the top of the order, and Calvin James, who lined out to right field in the first inning. James has had a good year, hitting .317, 85 hits, 55 RBIs. Got a man in scoring position right now. Score tied 1-1 in the bottom of the third. Breaking ball misses. Leadoff home run by Rusty DeBold here in the bottom of the third. Tied it for Miami. Outfield shades Calvin James over towards left. Fastball hit in the hole and throw, a base hit to right field. Solis will be held at third. A strong throw by Cook. But Solis had the stop sign up from Coach Ron Fraser right away. Base hit for Calvin James. 3 hits here in the third inning off Jeff Ballard. And Miami now with runners at first and third, only 1 out.
Well, Toy Cook is the best throwing outfielder on this Stanford team. That's why he's in right field. Charges this ball very hard. Comes up throwing. Even though there's pretty good speed on the bases for Miami, there's no sense in taking a chance with only 1 out.
Mike Fiore, the left fielder, steps in. Fiore hitting .333, second on the team with 84 hits. Infield playing for 2 for Stanford. And they've got a good double play combination. Throw over to first. James is the leading base stealer for Miami. You might see him run in this situation. He's on his own. He's got 45 stolen bases this year. Again, the move to first. They've got him picked off. Now let's see what Solis does at third. Lundblade throws, and they didn't get him. Lundblade held the ball too long before he threw to the shortstop Verducci, and James gets in.
Ron Frazier has said that he's had a number of runners picked off this year. They need to get that good lead, aggressive base running. A little slow getting back there. Is picked off. Tries to stay in the rundown as long as he can to give the runner on third an opportunity to break to home. It did not happen. He carried the play on to second base, made a trick slide around the shortstop. Shortstop misses on the tag.
Runners at second and third, and 1 man out for Miami. They've got a run in on the home run by DeBold leading off the inning. Third baseman Amaro is in even with a bag. Short and second are halfway, a pickoff try. James gets back. I thought Lundblade just held the ball too long. Should have gotten rid of it to the shortstop.
Well, that's easy to say right now, but he would have liked to have made that tag himself, so in case that runner on third does go, there's a minimum amount of handling the ball. We might also mention at third base, Julio Solis, the catcher, had a knee injury last year. Spent a good deal of time in a cast from hip to ankle. They're probably not going to gamble too much with him on the bases. Even though he is healthy, there's no sense in taking a lot of risks.
Line foul down the right field line. Solis at third, James at second. Fiore, the freshman left fielder, is the batter. There you see the runners for Miami. 1 man out. Score tied 1-1. Fiore, a good clutch hitter. Stanford will concede the run at short, second, and first. Third baseman Amaro is ready to come into the plate if it's hit to him. Irv Brown, what's the strategy here?
Well, I'm wondering what they do in the bigs. Paul, runners at second and third, 1 out. Do you move on to, no matter where the ball's hit on the ground, or do you make it be through on the left side? I'll let you describe it.
Foul back. Count remains 2-2.
It depends on the speed of your lead runner at third base. Looks like Stanford will concede a run at short and second, and also at first base. Third baseman in shallow would go for the out there at home plate.
Breaking ball on the ground down the first base line, just foul.
Foul.
Solis will return to third.
Very, very close play on this foul ball call. I believe that our replay is going to show that it is a foul ball going just outside the bag here. One thing Miami knows, Mike Fiore, a good contact hitter, struck out only 15 times this year, so they figure to get the ball in play someplace.
Again, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball hangs upstairs. Counts full on Fiore. Breaking ball hangs upstairs. Counts full on Fiore. John Leake, leading hitter on the Miami team, is on deck. Pitch is bounced slowly. Nice play by Ballard. Throw to the plate. They've got Solis hung up. Ramos running him back. The throw. He's back in there. No, they call him out. I thought he almost made it back. Verducci, the shortstop, came over to make the tag. Ron Fraser questions the call, but Solis is out.
Solis was breaking on contact. That was Miami's strategy. Even though he's the catcher, they want out as soon as the ball is contact on the ground, go ahead and break for the plate. The fact that the pitcher was able to cut this ball off makes this play possible. We've seen it twice now. Stanford, apparently their strategy in rundowns is run the runner all the way back to the bag and try to do it in just one throw. Make that tag in one throw.
What a play by Verducci. The throw actually went through the hands of Ruben Amaro, the third baseman. So now they're 2 men out, 2 men on. And John Leake, Miami's leading hitter, is in. Score tied 1-1. We're in the bottom of the third. Game 3 of the College World Series. Fastball is down low. Miami with 3 hits here in the third inning. Leake has had an outstanding year, 25 doubles. A senior from Sacramento, California. Jeff Ballard. Up in the air, foul. Over toward the first base dugout and into the dugout. Lundblade, the first baseman, and the catcher Ramos gave it a run.
And Lundblade was getting all the help that you could ask for out of his teammates over there, helping him with the call. When you're going to your own team's dugout, you can expect that kind of help. They would have been there to hold him up if he'd have been able to make the catch, but that is a deep dugout. There's no way to stand on that top step and be able to reach all the way to the fence to make a catch.
See the runners. James at second. Fiore at first. With 2 men out. That pitch in the dirt. Good block by Ramos. We're seeing 2 fine defensive catchers in this ball game. Sophomore John Ramos from Tampa, the Stanford Cardinal, and Julio Solis of Miami.
I think this will be very interesting to watch these 2 catchers all day long. They're playing against speedy ball clubs. They're good defensively, strong arms. They're going to be a very big part of this game this afternoon.
2-2 to John Leake. Breaking ball hit with a little spin to the first baseman. And Lundblade has no trouble. Got him on the hands with that pitch, and the side's retired. But Miami comes up with a run on 3 hits. They leave 2, and at the end of 3, it's Stanford and Miami tied 1-1. The Hurricanes coming through to tie the game on a leadoff home run by the shortstop, Rusty DeBold, over the right field fence. ESPN keeps you up to date on what's happening in baseball, what's going on in the pennant races, the voting for the All-Star teams, even the contract disputes. Join George Grant and Lou Palmer for Inside Baseball Mondays at 7:30 Eastern Time. Right now we're inside the College World Series inside Rosenblatt Stadium. Take a look at this rundown play with Solis.
Irv Brown down on the field. We see a run back all the way back to the base.
Yeah, you know, Paul, that's how most college coaches teach it. You only want to make the one throw. I heard you and Sam make that comment. Run them hard. Make sure you make the throw. I thought maybe that they held it just a little long. In fact, got a break. The shortstop was really hustling over, but make them go one direction so that there can be no more than one throw.
Okay, well, also, that some clubs are teaching it when you get back to the base, that infielder there take a couple steps towards the runner so that runner never gets anywhere near the base, and it's a timing play. It takes a lot of practice and good timing from several people involved.
Exactly, Paul. And another thing, too, you want to make sure after you throw the ball, you get out of the way so that the runner doesn't run into you. If he runs into you, it can be an appeal play, and you advance to the next base.
Well, most of the infielders like to stay to the inside of the infield, give that runner the baseline, so you're really never inside the baseline. Also, you don't have to throw through the runner also.
Top half of the fourth inning, score tied 1-1. Mike DeBenin, the designated hitter, leading off for Stanford. DeBenin opened the second inning with a double, was left stranded. It's a good curveball. Sherry. A lot of eyes widened when the announcement was made that Kevin Sherry would be the starter. Sherry with an unimpressive record of 4-4 this season, an earned run average of 5.01. But Ron Fraser's got a lot of confidence in his right-hander.
Well, as we had mentioned at the start of the show, he was penciled in as the #1 starter this year for Miami. Those back injuries are a problem for anybody. The ruptured disc, he was in traction, just now starting to come back to pitch. Has not been in a lot of ball games this year.
Just missed the outside corner.
Actually, Dan Davies having the top year from Miami at 15-1. They say if you can pencil this guy in as #1 ahead of him, Davies' record is probably a good indication of how good Sherry can be when healthy.
Also have another fine right-hander in Stephen Major, who's not lost at all this year, but they felt Sherry with a little more experience was the man who opened up their World Series effort. Count is full now on Mike DeBenin leading off the fourth inning. Don't forget, USFL football coming up next. Line foul off the right field side. Memphis Showboats and the New Jersey Generals at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We'll take you there live with Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire. And then following USFL football, back to Omaha, Game 4 of the World Series. DeBenin has walked to lead off the fourth inning. So every inning of the ball game, Stanford has had the leadoff man on. They broke through last inning with a run.
31. Left fielder, Walt Harris.
Game 4 tonight. Texas goes against Arizona. Ron Fraser relaxing right now. Doesn't seem to be nervous about things. Walt Harris, the left fielder, takes a strike. Square to bunt. Leak charging down from third, Hart from first. Harris takes a look at the first base coach for the sign.
Walt Harris is a good bunter. He's a slap hitter. Uses that speed to his advantage. Get the ball down in the infield. Try to beat the throw to first base.
Swinging away on the ground. Roland has it. To short for one. To first, not in time. We get the lead man. There's one man out.
27, Toy Cook.
And Toy Cook, the right fielder, will step in. If you look at Mark Marquis or Brown, what's going on downstairs?
You know, I heard you guys talking about they're checking their signs. The base coaches go through some stuff, Sam and Paul, but it means nothing. Mark Marcus, and there he is right there, he gives every sign. A lot of college coaches will do that, unlike the pros, Paul, where you relay it to the third base coach. In this case, every sign that the player takes that means something is from that guy right there, the coach, Mark Marcus.
1 on, 1 out, top half of the fourth.
Toy Cook fouls it back.
Sam, that's an interesting point. A lot of managers like to have total control of the game, don't have players on green lights, want to control everything. Rarely is it done from the bench, although there are a lot of times that coach will take the coaching box himself.
Walt Harris at first base with good speed, has 23 stolen bases this year. He's a threat to run. Cook can handle the bat well at the plate. Breaking ball got the outside corner. Sherry is ahead of Cook, 0-2. Harris with a good lead at first. Outfield shading Cook slightly towards right field. Fastball is blown away. Good waste pitch by Kevin Sherry. Stanford defeated Pepperdine to win the West 1 Regional. Curveball on the ground to third and past the third baseman. Leak the throw to second, not in time. DeBold got over, but just missed the force. As we mentioned, Harris with good speed slid in safely. Runners at first and second with one man out for Stanford. Let's see how they score that one. As Leak just couldn't play it at third base, it's ruled an infield single for Toy Cook. Runners at first and second, and John Ramos, a big RBI man, steps in.
John Leake trying to make that play to his left, charging, taking the ball in the short hop, unable to do it. Good hustling play by Rusty DeBold at shortstop. Good speed by Stanford. There had been a force out at second base.
Strike one to John Ramos. Stanford with runners on base in every inning. Broke through for a run in the third, score tied 1-1, playing now top of the fourth. And two men on in the first, and a leadoff double in the second. Scored in the third, the fake pickoff again. Good speed on the bases right now for Stanford. Harris at second, and Cook at first.
How often do you see the number 8 hitter in your lineup, the number 2 RBI man on your club?
And he'll get another one right here. They're waving Harris in. Fiore's throw to the plate is in time. They got him. What a throw by Mike Fiore. Walt Harris is cut down on the throw by Fiore to Solis.
Good defense by Miami right here. Good strong throw to the plate. The key to this play, watch the catcher's left foot taking home plate away from the base runner. Throw comes into home on the fly. There's no bounce whatsoever. Left fielder charges the ball hard, makes a strong throw to the plate. Mike Fiore unloads it. And the left foot takes away the plate. The runner slides around the plate. The key to it is the catcher taking home plate away.
Harris arguing that he wasn't tagged. Solis barely getting to that one line to center. Here comes Ricciardi, makes a running catch. So the outfield defense of the Miami Hurricanes gets them out of trouble in the fourth inning. Stanford getting 2 hits, but leaving 2 men on. A great throw to the plate by Fiore. A fine running catch by Ricciardi. Solis makes the tag, and Stanford does not score in the fourth.
Sam, a number of things happened on this play. First of all, Mike Fiore doing a great job in left field of charging this ball, picking it up cleanly, making a strong throw to the plate on the fly. Walt Harris, the base runner for Stanford, good speed. Solis, the catcher, good strong play at the plate, takes away the left foot, the lead foot. If he made the tag, the runner's out. Umpire thinks he made the tag. Walt Harris doesn't think so.
Close.
Good play all the way around. There are a number of things that happen in that play, and it comes down to fundamentals. Also, the last catch in that inning, Ricciardi, the center fielder, plays a very shallow center field. It paid off for him that time. This is Miami. Ron Frazier doesn't think he has a great team, but they do the things that it takes to win, and he's done it there for a long time.
Come up with some big plays, as we said earlier, and they've done that thus far in the ball game. Stanford has threatened in every inning and has only scored one time. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for Stanford. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for Miami. Greg Alina against Jeff Ballard. Alina, the designated hitter. Fly deep to left field his first time up. Fastball hit hard to left, a base hit for Alina. So the late change in the lineup. Chris Magno, a backup catcher, was originally going to be the DH. They went to Alina, and he comes through. Earthbound.
Paul, watch this left-hander close now. He got behind on the home run to DeBold. He's getting a little lazy on the slider. The hand speed does not look the same to me here at ground level as it did in the early innings. He's not pulling down. They're a little concerned in the dugout. Just talked to their pitching coach, and Tommy Dutton feels the same as I do. Just watch him close.
Well, they should be concerned because that fastball is not necessarily overpowering. He needs to have an effective breaking ball because teams will be able to sit on the fastball. They should have a good time with that.
Chris Hart, who was the MVP of the Atlantic Regional, as Miami came from behind in the game against Florida, the championship game. They were down 9-5 in the 7th inning, came back to win it 12-9. And Hart was a big factor in that victory. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning, score tied 1-1, Stanford and Miami. Alina leads from first. Good curveball. Struck out hard looking. Second strikeout for the left-hander Jeff Ballard.
That's the second time Chris Hart has struck out today. Both times looking, both times on off-speed pitches with 2 strikes. Good motion on the off-speed pitch. This one is down in the strike zone. Good location.
Don Rowland, the second baseman, steps in and fouls it off his leg. Rowland played shortstop last year. They felt he played out of position, had trouble defensively, and now this year playing second base has had a good year. That pitch in the dirt, but he went around. The appeal at first base, and he said that Rowland went around on it. 2 strikes.
That's a difficult call for the home plate umpire. He's watching the location of the pitch and knows the batter starts. He can get help from the first base umpire.
Alina dives back in on the move by Ballard. Breaking ball hit up the middle into right center field, a base hit. Alina's around second, will go to third as Mark Davis gets the ball in. 5th hit of the game for Miami. All coming in the last 2 innings. So Miami now with runners at first and third and only 1 out. Again, chance to break the tie. They had runners at second and third last inning, but Julio Solis was caught trying to score. Here is Rusty DeBold. He led off the 3rd inning with a home run over the right field fence. His 4th homer of the year. Infield and double play depth for Stanford. Fastball is low. That pitch is fouled back. Count is 1-1. Rowland at first base has got good speed. Well, we shouldn't say good speed. He's stolen a lot of bases. Ron Frazier says his team doesn't have speed. That pitch is down low in the dirt with a breaking ball. Counts 2-1 on Rusty DeBold.
Might want to be a little bit careful stealing. If he's out, that would be 2 outs. It takes the possibility of a sacrifice fly out of it. So probably wants to bold swinging.
Outfield straight away on the ball. Again, the move to first. Rolling with 36 stolen bases. Checking Ron Fraser for the signs across the way. Ballard looking in. Again, the move to first. Ballard's thrown over 3 straight times. Breaking pitch. Counts 2-2.
Good aggressive swing by Rusty DeBold on a breaking ball that stayed up in the strike zone again. He has thrown a few breaking balls that have stayed up.
Ballard pitched on Monday in the championship game in the West 1 Regional. It's a real strong ball game. Runner goes from first in the air to right field. Back goes Cook to the warning track. That ball is gone. Another home run for Rusty DeBold. A 3-run homer, and Miami leads 4-1. Rusty DeBold finding new power with 2 home runs. He had 3 home runs all year. He's hit 2 in this ball game.
Frazier describes him as a player with some pop in his bat. Not great power. Here getting a ball in the outer part of the plate. Getting it up in the air. Good carry on the ball. 2nd home run of the day. 4th RBI.
Both over the right field fence. And you talked about the pop in his bat. Ron Fraser was considering starting Joe Nelson, a little better defensive player at shortstop today, but went with DeBold because he's got that pop in the bat, and it's paid off. 4-1 Miami. Bunt by Solis is gloved by Ballard, and he'll make the play by himself. Unassisted put out for Jeff Ballard. Ballard not too happy with what's happened, especially with his pitches to Rusty DeBold.
The reason Rusty DeBold is in the game is because Solis is in the game. Not as strong a hitting catcher as Miami's #1 catcher. Did not feel that they wanted to weaken themselves offensively in 2 spots in the order.
2 men out here in the bottom of the 4th. Miami leading 4-1 on the strength of 2 home runs by Rusty DeBold. Number 9 man in the order. Rick Ricciardi, the center fielder, sacrificed his last time up. Here's something. Kevin Sherry has gone down the sideline, down the track on the left field side, and is throwing.
Well, they discussed that the other day at the press conference here in Omaha. A lot of the clubs do it in their home stadiums, and they were trying to get a ruling in favor of that for here in Omaha, down past the dugout and not all the way to the bullpen.
Count is 3-1 on Rick Ricciardi. Hit foul down the left field line. Herb Brown, what does it look like down on the field?
Well, you know, once again, Paul made the point. He's played in this ballpark when he was with the Royals down here. The shadow now starting to take over around home plate, and it's a big change now facing that left-hander coming from sunlight into shade.
Got the inside corner. Ricciardi thought it was ball 4. Umpire Gus Steiner said strike 3 and you're out. But Miami comes up with 3 runs on a 3-run homer by Rusty DeBold, and at the end of 4 in Game 3 of the College World Series, Miami leads Stanford 4-1. Rusty DeBold putting it over the right field fence for the 2nd time in the ball game. Stanford beat Oregon State, then Nebraska in a real tough one. Lost to Pepperdine 5-1, but bounced back with a 7-1 win to beat Pepperdine for the West 1 Regional Championship. Ballard pitched a 3-hitter in that one to win it. Miami beat Princeton with a big explosion, beat Virginia, lost to Florida, then down 9-5 in the 7th inning. Big comeback led by Chris Hart and won the regional championship 12-9. And that's how they made it here to Omaha. Great seasons for both teams, the Stanford Cardinal and the Miami Hurricanes. Pete Stanisiak, the senior second baseman, leads off the 5th inning for Stanford. Stanford with a ways to come back now. Stanisiak opened the ball game with a pop fly to right field that Calvin James lost in the sun. It dropped in for a double. Stanford has threatened in every inning. They've scored only 1 run. That was in the 3rd. Ron Rowland comes in to say something to Kevin Sherry on the mound.
And Sam, after 4 complete innings, Kevin Sherry goes back to the mound having thrown 60 pitches. Jeff Ballard 62 pitches. Both pitchers have been in a little bit of trouble, but not a large amount of pitches for this point in the ballgame. Should be in good shape for the last 4 innings.
Again, Ron Fraser told us he just wants Sherry to get him to the 6th. Maybe the 7th is if possible, but if he gets to the 6th, I think he'll be happy.
He indicated that earlier today. Feels that if he can get into the late innings with the relief pitching that he has, he can be in good shape.
Miami leading 4-1 in the top half of the 5th. 2-1 to Pete Stanisiak. Line foul down the right field line. This is the 5th appearance in Stanford history in the College World Series. Their best finish was 1967 when they finished 3rd. In 1982 they were 1-2, and in 1983 they were 1-2. A new form of rally cap for the Stanford Cardinal.
Whatever it takes to bring the guys together, get that positive thinking.
I love it. Two to Stanisiak outside from Sherry.
That most successful Stanford team in 1967, the first baseman on that team, Mark Marquis, hit .404 that year.
You played with Mark Marquis, didn't you?
Pan American Games, 1967. Won a gold medal. Beat Cuba 2-1 in the finals.
Line to right center field. Back goes Ricciardi. Makes the catch on the run. Little baseball cone. But Ricciardi made the catch. And as we said, he gets a great jump on the ball.
Gets a great jump on the ball. Goes back very well. Now, he plays as shallow a center field as you'll ever see a college player play. Good long strides, good speed, excellent range.
Whoop. It stayed in there.
That'll scare you a little bit.
Little ice cream cone. 1 man out. And for the first time in the ball game, the leadoff man has been retired for Stanford. Ruben Amaro takes a strike. Amaro, good offensive ball player, swings the bat well. Playing 3rd base this year, was the designated hitter last year. Will move to 2nd base next year. He's just a sophomore from Philadelphia. His father, of course, the former major leaguer, Ruben Amaro Sr.
I would like to see Ruben Amaro have a good series. He lists his biggest thrill as being the bat boy for the Philadelphia Phillies against the Royals in the 1980 World Series. He needs a couple base hits here to strike that out of the books.
Get that big thrill out of there. You remember that one. Hit to 3rd. Leak. Bobbles it. Comes up throwing. He got him. Strong arm by John Leak as he recovered to get Amaro. Just barely.
Batter, number 8.
John Leak playing in shallow at 3rd base. Makes this a pretty difficult play. Right at the edge of the grass, this ball is going to stay down on him. Gets the glove on it. The ball stays pretty close to his body. Did not panic. Came up. Good strong throw to 1st.
Nice stretch by Hart at 1st base as well. 2 men out in the top of the 5th. Miami leading it 4-1. Mark Davis, the junior center fielder, swings at a curveball. You saw right at the top of today's telecast, Davis just could not explain what happened to him last year. Went into a terrible slump and fell off. after a great freshman year, but he's bounced back beautifully.
Mark Marcos explained it pretty well. He was the #2 hitter as a freshman, had great hitters all around him. Not a lot was asked out of him. Was not playing under much pressure at the time. A year ago, dropped to the #3 position after a number of those stronger hitters had left Stanford. More was asked out of him. A little tough to handle that stuff mentally, and he's doing much better now. Also hitting out of the 3rd spot.
Counts 2-2 on Davis. Hit .310 in his freshman year. Last year dropped to .231. Home run and RBI production went way down. This year back up to .351 coming into today's ball game. 13 homers, 65 RBIs. 2-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner. Miami infield all moving toward the dugout with that pitch.
Do whatever you can to help the umpire make his call.
You think he needs help?
You're not sure that he needs it, but you're always there to offer it.
3-2. On the ground to second. Rolling right there. 1-2-3 inning for the first time in the ball game for Kevin Sherry and the Miami Hurricanes. They've gotten power hitting from the shortstop. And they lead 4-1. Relive the excitement of the College World Series by ordering the official program of the 1985 championship. The program is complete with team information, exciting feature stories, and a fascinating history section. To order the colorful 96-page edition of the 1985 College World Series program, simply send a check or money order for $5 to Post Office Box 1985A, Lexington, Kentucky 40502. Don't forget, immediately following our game here in Omaha, we'll send you to the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Time for USFL football. The New Jersey Generals and the Memphis Showboats. Good ball game. Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire will bring you all the action. And after that game, we'll come back to Omaha. Game 4 of the College World Series is tonight. Texas goes against Arizona. Calvin James, #1 in the order, leads off the 5th inning and bunts up the first base side and kicks foul. James is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Line to right his first time up and then single. That's Lee Plummel, a right-hander, loosening up for Stanford. Plummel has made 19 appearances this year, a 6-1 record. Ballard misses with a breaking ball. Miami with a run in the 3rd and 3 in the 4th, all on home runs by Rusty DeBoll, the shortstop. Solo homer in the 3rd, 3-run homer in the 4th.
Mark Marcus said he would go a long time with Ballard today, having pitched out of trouble twice already in the early innings. Lee Plummel listed as a middle inning reliever down getting loose.
Mark Marquis looking on. Fastball over from Ballard. Now with 2 strikes on James, the infield has moved back at 1st and 3rd. They've been respecting the speed of Calvin James. Count is full now. Outfield straight away on James. Fouls it back. Calvin James, as we mentioned, had a fine World Series in 1982. Missed the entire, had a fine season, was hurt in the World Series in 82. Missed the entire 83 season because of a knee injury suffered in the 82 World Series. Bounced back last year well. 3-2 pitch. Curveball. Got the outside corner. James is struck out, leading off the bottom half of the 5th inning. 4th strikeout for the left-hander, Jeff Ballard.
That speed can do so much to help an offensive player. We had the scan of the infield there showing them playing in shallow both at 3rd and short, having to respect the speed of James, as you had mentioned.
There's Mike Fiore. Left fielder. Wind is picked up and now seems to have switched around. Earlier seemed to be blowing out towards left field. Now seems to be blowing out towards right. That curveball gets over. Still the sun shining brightly here. Some scattered clouds around the ballpark. Went after a curveball that was inside. It's 1-2 on Fiore. Fiore hit the ground ball last time, in which Solis was hung up between third and home and was tagged out trying to get back to third. That was in the third inning. That one's lined into left field. 7th hit of the ball game for the Hurricanes of Miami. They didn't get a hit in the first 2 innings, and then have broken through in the last 3 against Jeff Ballard.
Batter, 13, third baseman, John Leake.
John Leake, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Fly to left and grounded to short. Miami 4, Stanford 1. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. This is game 3 of the College World Series. Runner goes from first. Pitch is foul back. Well, the Miami running game, haven't seen it all that much thus far in the ball game. Just a couple of times they've run a little bit. We did see Calvin James get out of a rundown and steal second base with a runner at third. They had the runners at first and third, and James was able to sneak into second. Line deep down the left field line. Fair ball and into the corner. Fiore on his way to third as Harris falls down. They're waving him in. Fiore will score, and Miami leads 5-1. It's a double for John Leake. The leading hitter on the Miami team drives in the 5th run of the ball game for Miami. Leake's 55th RBI that ties him for the team lead with Calvin James.
John Leake has been a consistent hitter all season long for Miami. Here getting a pitch, really driving it into that left field corner. Left fielder never had a chance to cut that ball off, and with the speed that Miami has on the bases, and Mike Fiore scores easily from first base.
Leake at second with 1 man out, and Miami leading 5-1. Now, with bullpen action, Lee Plemmel working in the bullpen. A visit to the mound coming from the pitching coach for Stanford. Irv Brown, what's it look like downstairs?
Well, once again, as we mentioned earlier, Sam, it just looks like Ballard is not snapping hard on the slider. That is his pitch. He's gotten a little lazy on that. Tommy Dutton is looking to the bullpen. To be very honest with you, the guy in the pen, Plena, did not start throwing hard until just a few moments ago. The catcher finally put a mask on, and they're going to have to stall a little bit if they really are going to bring him in. The umpire's going out to visit with Dutton right now.
Discussion continues. And a decision to be made. Looks like Ballard will stay for the time being anyway, as they look down to check to see if Plemmel is ready. Pitching coach Tom Dutton returning. There's Jeff Ballard. Has not had a good outing as Miami has gotten to him the last 3 innings. 8 hits in the last 3 innings and 5 runs after he breezed through the first 2 innings. Now Greg Alina, the designated hitter, steps in. Alina singled his last time up, scored in front of Rusty DeBolt's 3-run homer. This one may be gone high and deep to left field. It is gone. A 2-run homer for Greg Alina, and Miami takes a 7-1 lead. His 12th home run of the year. So after all that talk at the mound, Ballard serves up the gopher ball.
Alina, the late replacement for Ron Frazier, that was the change he made in the lineup. Hits the ball hard for the second time in a row. Got a fastball up in the strike zone a little bit. He's one of the stronger hitters on the Miami team. He's one of those guys that was the backup catcher, bullpen catcher. Has got a number of home runs. Great ratio of home runs to at-bats. Get a ball about belt high right there. Get great extension on the arms. He can drive it.
94 at-bats this year, and he's got 12 home runs. Greg Alina putting it out. You saw the frustration on the part of Walt Harris and the look of dismay on the face of Jeff Ballard. Ballard is gone. Mark Marquis heads to the mound. He will bring in a new pitcher, but one pitch too late as far as Stanford is concerned, because a couple of more runs came in for Miami on the long home run by Greg Alina over the left center field fence. Miami has hit 3 home runs. They lead 7-1. And Stanford goes to the bullpen to replace their starter, Jeff Ballard. That is freshman Lee Plummel coming in to make his 20th appearance of the season. He has started only once. This is his 19th relief appearance, record of 6-1. You see the numbers across the board on him. Earned run average of 5.15. Jeff Ballard, the ace of the Stanford staff, got roughed up and retired the first 6 men over the first 2 innings. Then a home run by Rusty DeBold leading off the 3rd. A 3-run homer by DeBold in the 4th. An RBI double by John Leake and a 2-run homer by Greg Alina here in the 5th. And it's 7-1 Miami.
Stanford really needed a good ball game out of Jeff Ballard to start off this series for him. He's been their ace all season long. Didn't want to get into the middle relievers. Wanted him to get into the late innings, do a good job for him as he did last weekend to get him the trip here to Omaha. Have a freshman into the ball game right now. Plummel, pretty good fastball. He's going to show you a good curveball, a good downer curveball. It's not a big sweeping thing. We're going to see a lot of downward movement on it.
Ballard went 4 1/3, allowed 7 runs, all of them earned, 9 hits, struck out 4, walked none. Hart steps in and fouls it back off Plummel. Chris Hart. Nothing for 2 thus far. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Miami has scored 3 runs. Leads 7-1 over Stanford.
How about Ron Frazier telling us he doesn't have a lot of power on this ball club?
Doesn't have power, doesn't have speed.
But steals bases.
But his outfielders run down everything, and he's hit 3 home runs for 6 of the 7 runs in this ball game.
Well, one thing he has told us on a couple of occasions since we got here at Omaha, that he does like the chemistry of this team. They bunch things together. They do what they have to do to win. We've seen some good defensive plays by Miami already.
Yes. That curveball is fouled, and Ron Frazier makes the play. Good hands, Ron. 23 years, 925 wins. What a career he's had at Miami. His 8th trip to the College World Series. Won the championship in 1982. Foul tipped and held on to by John Ramos, and Hart has struck out one more time. The winner of this game will be off until Tuesday. Get a chance to rest the team. The loser has to come back tomorrow in the 2nd game of the doubleheader.
And that can hurt a club that is not deep in pitching.
The loser of this game will play the loser of the game tonight between Arizona and Texas. The winner of this game plays the winner of tonight's game on Tuesday. Arkansas and Mississippi State have 1st-round wins. That one popped into the air to short center. In comes Davis, and it drops in. Rowland with a turn, goes back with a base hit. Second baseman Don Rowland.
Batter, number 14, Rusty DeBold.
This ball was hit. Didn't look like Mark Davis did not get a good jump on it. Actually, he played it right. He hung back a little bit, trying to give the infielders all the room they can to make the play. Good range by second baseman Stanisic. Diving catch, doing everything that he can, but the key for that is Davis stay out of his way. Don't get in there if you can't make the catch.
Here's the home run man, Rusty DeBold. He's 2 for 2. Both home runs. Runner goes, throws high. Roland is out. Good tag by the shortstop, Verducci. And Roland is thrown out stealing. So Miami trying to use the running game, but the throw from Ramos to Verducci is in time. Miami scores 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Again, a big home run for 2 of those runs by Greg Alina. The runner Roland is thrown out, but Miami still leads 7-1. The Stanford Cardinal down but not out. Good hitting team, .317 batting average this season, averaging better than 9 runs per ball game. They've got some power too. Right now, they have threatened in 4 of the 5 innings in this ball game, but only been able to break through for a run. Miami, see the numbers, .299 team batting average, averaging better than 8 runs per ball game. They said they didn't have all that much power, but they've added to that home run total with 3 this afternoon. We go to the top half of the 6th inning, and the cleanup man, Rick Lundblade, fly to right twice. Last time actually line to right. Calvin James had to make a leaping grab. 7-1 Miami in the 6th.
Stanford still has 4 chances to get back in this ball game. As you mentioned, they can steal the bases, they can also hit for power, but it's time to get back in it.
Sherry with a good fastball. Sherry has done the job that Ron Fraser has asked him to. He's got him into the 6th inning. I think he wants perhaps maybe 1-2 more innings at most out of Sherry, and then go to Rick Rather as ace reliever, who is threatening the NCAA saves record with 19. The record is 21.
With a 6-run lead, though, they might go with Sherry a little bit longer. No sense in going to that ace in the pen if you don't have to.
Ground ball is foul outside third. Irv Brown, what's the strategy down there?
You know, you're talking about Sherry. He hasn't lost anything down here, Paul. He's still trying to throw it on the hands. The first 2 fastballs to this big 4-hole hitter, Lundblade, were on the hands, and he came with a deuce. But he looks very good to me. He's doing a good job, and his stuff is still there.
Count is 1-2 on big Rick Lundblade. Missed outside.
Well, Sherry retired Stanford in order in the 5th inning. If he continues to throw well, although Ron Fraser was only looking for 6 or 7 innings out of him, he would certainly take more.
Breaking balls in the dirt. Full count to Lundblade. That's junior Kevin Kunkel, the son of the late Bill Kunkel, the late former pitcher and former umpire. Kevin Kunkel. His brother Jeff is in the Texas Rangers organization. He's been up and down with the Rangers. Junior right-hander warming up. Fastball misses. Sherry lost him. And Sherry a little upset with himself. He was way out ahead of Lundblade and put him on.
Actually a good close pitch, but you certainly don't want to give up the walk. You want to be careful on Lundblade. He has the power to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but when you have this kind of lead, you certainly don't want to walk the leadoff hitter, and I'm sure Ron Fraser not real happy about it either.
So that last delivery, Sherry didn't like it at all.
Well, you have to know Sherry is into this ballgame with the kind of season that he's had, so much being expected out of him, the frustration of an injury. He can make his entire season right here in this next week.
That's right. Fastball foul back. Mike DeBenin, the designated hitter, is in. Singled and walked. Actually doubled and walked. Lundblade not being held on at first base with a 6-run lead. Hart is playing behind him. DeBenin has been on twice. There you see Hart playing halfway behind the runner. Infield looking for 2. Breaking ball is outside. Miami 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Stanford 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. Stanford has had the leadoff man on in every inning but the 5th. That pitch in the dirt, throw down, Lundblad gets back. Here you see Solis's arm, he likes to show it.
Try to lull the runner to sleep. First baseman playing behind the runner. Think he might steal. Go ahead, take that extra step right there. I got a strong throwing catcher that throws accurately. Close play.
Close play it was. Fastball misses outside. Almost looks like Sherry's trying to be too fine right here. Looks like he's nipping at the corners.
Well, he's got a lead, and he doesn't want to let it get away. You don't want to get lackadaisical out there, start throwing the ball down the middle, but also you don't want to go completely the other way and be nibbling all the time, getting behind in the count, another 3-1 count. You got to throw strikes. You got to stay aggressive.
Solis went out and may have told him exactly that. One of the reasons Solis is starting behind the plate for Miami is the fact that Rod Fraser feels that he works well with Sherry. 3-1 pitch. Got a strike at the knees. DeBennon wanted to walk. Gus Steiner called him back.
Frazier has so many players that can play many positions. He's moved guys around all year long. He's really had a pretty good time with this team. He's not locked in like some of the coaches are, as far as I got this guy here, this guy hits 4th, this guy hits 5th. He's had a lot of lineups this year.
Runner goes, pitch is hit down the right field line, a base hit, and into the corner. Lundblad is being waved around third. He'll score as DeBennon goes into second with a double. Mike DeBennon, the designated hitter, his second double of the ball game, drives in the run, and it's 7-2.
Stanford not out of this ball game yet. We mentioned they have 4 shots left. Scoring runs at a record pace for their school this year. The runner going all the way. The ball coming off the fence did not carry him and head for the corner like you would normally expect. Calvin James had it cut off. If it was going deep, it actually hit a post down there, came straight back in, got that runner the extra base to score.
Here's Walt Harris, the left fielder. Runner at second, nobody out. And we'll get some bullpen action now for Miami as Sherry works with a runner at second. Pitches a fastball up high. Walt Harris is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Miami leading 7-2. Runner at second. Got the outside corner. On Harris. Ron Fraser, he doesn't seem to be too worried about the situation.
Well, he's looking at the scoreboard, trying to figure out how many outs he needs before he can get to Rather. He doesn't want to use Rather any more than 3 or 4 innings. And he's getting into the gray area now where he might start thinking about him.
He's got a right-hander, Bob O'Brien, warming up. Another good fastball. So suddenly Sherry says, hey, enough of this nibbling bit. I'm going to rear back and throw the heater over the plate.
Well, he needs to do it right now. Get aggressive again. Get whatever he can get outs-wise. He's probably looking at near the end of the road for him. Give it his best shot. He's done a good ball game so far. Don't get yourself in trouble. He doesn't want to let this lead get away.
Time is called by umpire Gus Steiner, asked for by Walt Harris. We're in the top half of the 6th inning. Stanford has scored a run. Still trailing by 5, 7-2. Missed the outside corner. Right-hander Bob O'Brien just starting to loosen up. He's the middle innings guy if Ron Fraser decides to make a change. Late innings man is Rick Rather. Hit on the ground to second. Rowland is there. And is 1 man out. DeBennon moves up to third. On the infield out. 1 man down here in the top of the 6th.
Batter's 27. Right fielder, Ty Cook.
Ty Cook comes in. Cook singled his last time up. And Brad Kelly, Miami's assistant coach, positioning the defense from the top step of the dugout.
In tight at third base. Cook can bunt, will bunt, back at every other position. Miami appears to be ready to concede a run for an out.
Pitching out of the stretch position again, gets that good fastball over. Miami 7, Stanford 2. We're in the top half of the 6th inning, Game 3 of the College World Series. Curveball on the ground is short. DeBold is there. Across to Hart. 2 men out. The run scores. Benin comes in on the infield out. That's the starter, Jeff Ballard, with the ice bag on the elbow. Did not have a good ball game. Pitched 4 1/3 innings and allowed 7 runs. Don't forget, USFL action is coming up live here on ESPN. From the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the New Jersey Generals. Herschel Walker having a great year. Going against the Memphis Showboats, led by quarterback Mike Kelly. We'll take you there live. And then more baseball tonight. Texas and Arizona in Game 4 of the College World Series. John Sanders and Jim Price will bring you that. 2 strikes, the count on John Ramos, the catcher. Sherry working hard. Stanford has come back with 2 runs here. The double by DeBenin, the big hit. Seven to 3 Miami. Breaking ball misses. The winner plays Tuesday night against the winner of tonight's game between Texas and Arizona. The loser of today's game has to come back tomorrow night in the second game of the doubleheader against the loser of tonight's game. Check swing, grounded to second. Rowland to Hart. Stanford gets 2 runs on 1 hit, the double by Mike DeBenin, and they cut into Miami's lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Miami 7, Stanford 3. And we will be checking in with Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire and the progress of tonight's USFL football game between the New Jersey Generals and the Memphis Showboats. Right now we're going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Miami holding on to a 7-3 lead. Lee Plemmel, a freshman right-hander, to face Rusty DeBold. DeBold was at bat when Rowland was thrown out stealing. Ron Polk got his victory cigar lit up after his Mississippi State Bulldogs defeated Oklahoma State 12-3 last night. His team will play Monday night against Arkansas.
He's probably feeling pretty good about last night's ball game, but already concerned about his next ball game and who else he might face in this tournament, doing a little advanced scouting.
DeBold takes high and away. Rusty DeBold, the hero of the ball game for Miami, with 2 home runs, a solo homer in the 3rd and a 3-run homer in the 4th, both over the right field fence. This one is lined down the line, base hit. DeBold around first on his way for 2. Harris's throw. It's going to be close. He's safe. Verducci just couldn't hold on to the throw. Rusty DeBold with his 3rd hit of the ball game. Little pop in his bat. He's got a big pop in his bat.
He's got some pop in it today. He hit the ball hard again. A ball up in the strike zone. Hitters have to contend with these shadows now. They're about halfway out to the mound, which is going to make it very difficult for him. That ball up in the strike zone. Throw actually had him at second base, I believe, if it would have been handled cleanly.
It's there.
Yes, it's there. Good hustling play by left field.
Now Mark Marquis takes another trip out to the mound. Gathers his infield around for a little strategy session. Stanford trailing 7-3. And Mark Marquis wants to cut things off right now and stay close. Leadoff double for Rusty DeBold. DeBold doing a little flexing of his right knee.
Ken Nocerina.
Both tees now after that hard slide into second base.
That little exercise he's doing right there will help stretch out the lower back also. Good stretching exercise.
The ball returns to second. There is Lee Plummel, the freshman right-hander.
Get tuned up.
We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Miami with a 7-3 lead. They've got 11 hits in the ball game, and Julio Solis is up. They're looking for the bunt at first and third, and Solis holds off. The pitch is outside. What a charge from first by Lundblad. It's about 20 feet from home plate. Ron Fraser with the signs. Solis squares and then takes it back, ready to swing away.
Lundblad charging because they want to try to get the lead runner at third base if possible. Ron Fraser changing things up. Fake the bunt, pull the bat back, try to hit the ball on the right side.
Runner at second, no one out for Miami. Here in the 6th, Solis bunts foul. Julio Solis. Tough little catcher. Hasn't hit, not a disciplined man at the plate, and has not hit for good average this year. As we've said, good defensive catcher, strong arm. He set the bunt again. Well, takes ball 3. Fraser with all the signs. Probably has one for Herb Brown, too. That bunt is foul. Bounced up and hit Solis in the batter's box, and the count is full.
Lee Plummel probably thinking a lot about getting off the mound, getting a good jump in fielding position to get the lead runner. At times you forget about your control.
Tend to rush your delivery a little bit.
Well, you're thinking so much about defense. You know the man's bunting, so you're not going to get hurt. You're not going to hit a line drive someplace, so you're not concerned about throwing the strike. You're more concerned about fielding your position.
3-2. Solis swings away and fouls it out of the ballpark. With a good crowd on hand here for the second day of College World Series action. Good crowds here yesterday. There you see crowds still coming in. A lot of baseball to be played today and tonight. Arizona and Texas to play. Line to left field. Here comes Harris. Got a late jump, but he makes the catch. One man out. Bolt back at second.
Batter number 6, center fielder, Rick
Ricciardi will step in as Mark Marquis checks the lineup. See who's coming up. Ricciardi is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out his last time. He's 0 for 1. First time up he sacrificed. Takes a strike on the outside corner. See the Stanford infield defense with the third baseman Ruben Amaro playing way wide of third. On the grass, lined into left field, a base hit, played on a hop by Harris, bobbles it, and the runner is held at third. But going through is Ricciardi with good speed. Ricciardi took second on the throw-in. He never stopped.
Good hustling play all the way around. Good play by Walt Harris. Would like to have come in and made a shoot-string catch on this ball. Got caught in between. The ball hits out in front of him away. He's not able to make the short hop. Knocks the ball down. His main concern is to cut off the run at the plate. The throw's a little bit high. Goes all the way through. He missed the cutoff man. Good aggressive base running by Ricciardi on bases.
Ricciardi at second. 12th hit of the game for Miami, and Calvin James will get an intentional pass to load up the bases. The captain of the Miami Hurricanes. He's got a big fan watching him in Montgomery, Alabama. In fact, all of the Hurricanes have a big fan. Stephen Smith. Interesting story. A young man who's suffering from multiple sclerosis wrote a letter to Miami, says he follows the Hurricanes. Could they send him a picture, souvenir, a hat? They did. They also made a stop in Montgomery, Alabama on their way to Tuscaloosa. The entire team visited him, and Calvin James gave him his jacket. Stephen Smith, I'm sure, is watching this game. And Stephen, all the Hurricanes are saying hello to you. They're playing quite a ball game in this one. Bases loaded, one man out, bottom of the 6th. Miami leading 7-3, and Mike Fiore, the left fielder who singled his last time, steps in. Infield halfway at short and second, in at first and third. I'll play for 2 if it's hit to short or second. Good curveball from Lee Plummel. Curveball. 2 strikes on Fiore.
Plummel making a couple of real good pitches down in the strike zone on that breaking ball. Interesting watching the second base shortstop combination back there. They're going to have a decision to make on a ground ball. If it's hit sharply, they'll go for the double. If it's not hit so sharply, they might have to come home, and they're at halfway. They're in a position where they could do either.
Plummel pitching from the stretch. 2-strike pitch. Another curveball is foul. Fiore, freshman, a real good year. Hit the ball well, has played well in the outfield. Came into the game hitting .333. Hits that one to right field, a base hit. 1 run is in. Ricciardi is being held at third. And it's 8-3 in favor of Miami. The bases remain loaded. And a good piece of hitting by Mike Fiore going to right field with the pitcher ahead on the count.
Ahead 0-2, and this is way too good a pitch for 0-2. Plummel made a number of good pitches with the curveball down the strike zone. Watch this one stay up in the strike zone on the outer part of the plate. 0-2 pitches right there is not a good idea. Fiore going with the ball, hit it into right field. Bad pitch by the young pitcher.
And here comes John Leake. Leake had a double. Drove in a run his last time up. Takes low. Infield remains in for Stanford. Miami has scored in each of the last 4 innings. There you see the defense. Short and second. Verducci at short. Stanisic second, ready to go for 2. High in the air, deep left center. Harris goes back. Davis goes back. Davis on the warning track makes the catch. All the runners tag up and move up. Ricciardi scores. James goes to third. Fiore to second. And Miami leads it 9-3. On the sacrifice fly by John Leake, his second RBI of the ball game.
Leake getting a pitch that he could handle up in the strike zone. Only 1 out. A fly ball is as good as a base hit. He drove the ball deep enough. All the runners were able to move up a base, and the runner from third scored very easily.
Nothing Mark Davis could do about that one. All he got the ball in a hurry.
All he can do is get the ball back in and make good throws. Make sure everybody can handle the ball.
A trip to the mound for Mark Marquis and another visit to the bullpen. Kevin Kunkel will come in to relieve the freshman Lee Plummel. Stanford goes to the bullpen for the second time in the ball game. Miami, with 2 men out, have runners at second and third, and Greg Alina, their designated hitter who homered his last time up, set to step in. The junior Kevin Kunkel has come in. Miami has scored 2 runs, and they've regained the 6-run lead after Stanford scored 2 in the top of the 6th. Look at the freshman Lee Plummel. And the right-hander Kevin Kunkel making his 16th appearance of the year, his 11th relief appearance. Has a record of 2-2, 6.05 earned run average.
And he obviously comes from a baseball family. Another brother, older brother, on the verge of making the major leagues, played in the Texas Ranger organization a little bit in the major leagues. His father, you mentioned American League umpire, died about a month ago. Former major league pitcher also.
Pitched for Kansas City and the Yankees.
Right. He was the umpire behind the plate on the night I won my first major league game.
Is that right?
I'm going to date myself a little bit. It was against the Washington Senators. Okay, you remember those guys?
Yes.
Quite a while ago. The next day, Bill Kunkel called me over to the umpires room, which is right next to our home clubhouse. Gave me the lineup cards. Now the umpires get a lineup card from both the home and the visiting managers. gave them to me for a souvenir for me. What made it really important, Ted Williams, Hall of Famer, was the manager of the Washington Senators.
Right.
Bob Lemon, another Hall of Famer, was my manager. Made excellent scrapbook material. I thought he was a good umpire. We got along super. I always got a great ball game out of me. He worked very hard, and I'll never forget him.
Some baseball family. It is something to have two sons performing the way they have. Jeff in AAA, now in the Texas organization, and has been up in the major leagues. And Kevin here pitching for a fine university at Stanford. Runners at second and third. Greg Alina, 2 for 3. He's hit the ball hard. One time they got him out, he hit it back to the fence in left field. Curveball's high from Kunkel. 9-3 Miami. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The loser of this game has to come back and play tomorrow night in the second game of the doubleheader. We'll be on live with both games tomorrow, beginning at 5 o'clock Eastern time. It'll be losers bracket games tomorrow night, but can't call any of these teams in this tournament losers. They're all fine teams with fine baseball programs that have won their way to Omaha. But the losers tomorrow night will be eliminated from the College World Series. Double elimination tournament. There's Calvin James at third. Mike Fiore at second. Miami has done everything right in this ball game. Curveball hit high and deep to center field. Davis going back. That ball's over his head and over the wall. It's another home run for Greg Alina. A 3-run homer for the designated hitter. The late substitution. The genius Ron Fraser scores again. A 3-run homer for Alina, his second of the game, giving him 5 RBIs. Miami now leads it 12-3.
The home runs continue to jump off his bat. That ball hit extremely well to center field. It was wind aided, but even without the wind, that ball is going to go off the fence. Got a ball up in the strike zone again. He's obviously a high ball hitter. He's strong.
Wow. The one-time bullpen catcher, Greg Alina. And people were asking Ron Fraser, where you been hiding him? Chris Hart grounds out to Lundblade, but Miami has scored 5 more. 3 of them on another home run by the designated hitter, Greg Alina. And at the end of 6, it's the Miami Hurricanes 12, Stanford 3. A long way back for the Cardinals, but they'll be coming to bat here in the top of the 7th. Sam Rosen and Paul Splittorff live at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. This is Game 3 of the College World Series, and the Miami Hurricanes, the team that wasn't supposed to have any power, has hit 4 home runs to lead 12-3. And what clouts. Alina hitting one over the center field fence. A 3-run homer. Rusty DeBolt has hit 2. What a night, what a day it's been for the Hurricanes of Miami. They lead 12-3. And Kevin Sherry, a right-hander who struggled in the early innings. Stanford threatened in the first 2 innings, broke through in the 3rd for a 1, threatened again in the 4th, but Sherry worked out of the jams. Stanford got 2 back in the top of the 6th, but Miami has answered back with 5 to lead 12-3. 12 runs, 14 hits for Miami, 3 runs, 7 hits for Stanford. John Verducci, the shortstop, the number 9 hitter, leads off the 7th inning. Fastball on the ground to short. DeBolt gets the tough hop, throws him out. Good play by Rusty DeBolt on that bad hop.
Very good play by shortstop, as that ball seemed to have hit the edge of their cutout there between the grass and the turf. Played the ball right in front of him there. Caught it up in the lower stomach, makes the throw at first base. Kevin Sherry back to the mound for the 7th inning, had 100 pitches through the first 6 innings.
And he was certainly happy that he got that batter out on one pitch. Makes it easy. Top of the order, and Pete Stanisiak, the second baseman. Sherry just missed with a fastball. A very impressive performance by Miami today.
Here's the deal down here, fellas. They'll go with Kevin this inning. Then they want to bring in Patno and then go with Rather to get Patno just a little work, and we'll see Rather in the 8th and 9th. That is the game plan thus far for Ron Frazier. Back upstairs, fellas.
Thanks, Irv. Count is 1-1 on Pete Stanisiak. Changeup is hit foul. We'll be going to the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey for the New Jersey Generals and the Memphis Showboats. USFL football live on ESPN. And later tonight, Game 4 of the College World Series. Arizona goes against Texas. The winner will meet the winner of this game on Tuesday night. The loser will play the loser of this game tomorrow night. Paul and I will have the pleasure of doing South Carolina and Oklahoma State tomorrow afternoon. That'll be live at 5 o'clock Eastern Time here at Rosenblatt Stadium. South Carolina beaten by Arkansas 1-0 in 14 innings. Curveball misses. What a heartbreaker that is.
We've had a couple different ball games in our first two of this series. A 1-run scored total in 14 innings yesterday, and 15 runs scored already today. Feast or famine.
That's right. 15 in Game 2 with Mississippi State beating Oklahoma State. Fastball got the outside corner. Stanisiak doesn't like the call, but he is called out on strikes. 2 men out.
Batter number 12, Ruben Amaro, third base.
Pretty good pitch here by Kevin Sherry. Knows it's his last inning. There's nothing to hold back. Give it one more shot. Give it a good one. Don't give up a thing. Make good pitches.
The last couple of innings, he's been throwing his fastball better than he was earlier in the game. Ruben Amaro steps in. 2 strikeouts for Sherry in the ball game. Amaro for 3 thus far. Outfield is not too deep on Amaro, and again, as they have throughout the ball game on most of the Stanford hitters, the outfield bunching toward the alleys, straight away in center field. That fastball is over.
Solis giving a good low target there, trying to keep his pitcher down in the strike zone. A lot of times we get into late innings, you get a little bit tired. The ball has a tendency to come up in the strike zone.
Fastball hit hard, base hit just past. The leaping attempt by Don Rowland. Amaro has a hit, the 8th hit of the ball game for Stanford. With 2 men out, Mark Davis will step in. Hit hard by Amaro. Good try by Rowland. Watch the try of the second baseman.
When you get a ball hit this hard, there's very little your infielder can do. 1, 2, 3 steps is all he can take before that ball is by him, and you want to keep the ball from getting hit too hard.
Ron Frazier sitting in the dugout. Bob O'Brien, the pitcher, loosened up earlier in the game. He's back in the dugout. Mark Davis steps in, takes a fastball low. 2 men out. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. Miami leading Stanford 12-3. Davis has had 1 hit. See Hart, the first baseman, playing behind the runner. A little high. Count is 2-0 on Davis.
And we may see Kevin Sherry pressing just a little bit right here. He's got the comfortable lead. He knows he needs 1 more out, and he's through for the day. Had a great outing. Pushing himself a little bit, getting a little bit anxious possibly.
Fastball is over. That big lead right now, it's just throw the ball over the plate. Get the strikes.
He knows he's just 1 good pitch, 1 ground ball away from having this day over. You know he's been anxious about it.
That fastball's up high. He may be tiring a little bit. As Paul mentioned, coming into this inning, he'd thrown 100 pitches. and he's thrown a lot here in the 7th. Three and one on Davis, the junior center fielder. Fastball misses. Davis is walked. 2 men on for the cleanup hitter, Rick Lundblade. Sherry upset with himself. He's now thrown 116 pitches. And a little visit to the mound now by Brad Kelly. The assistant coach will go out to talk with Sherry.
This is the key hitter in the game for Sherry as far as his idea of what he's accomplished for his ball club today. Now, he's given up 1 run through the early innings until his club got 7, at which time Stanford comes back, scores 2 more, makes the game a little bit closer, but Miami comes back with 5 more. If he can get Lundblade, he's had a good day. If Lundblade gets to him, and now all of a sudden he's given up, say, maybe 6 runs, he's going to think it's not a good performance. So this is a key out for him.
Ron Fraser is down talking to assistant coach Red Berry, checking out to see if pitcher Alan Patnode is ready. There's the right-hander, Alan Patnode, warming up. Senior from Laval, Quebec. 2 men on for Stanford, 2 men out here in the top of the 7th, and their big man, their power man, Rick Lundblade, stepping in. Lundblade is 0 for 2. He's walked. His last time up, scored a run. Fastball foul at the plate. Lundblade came into the game hitting over 400. With 89 RBIs and 24 home runs.
He is a good-looking hitter, though. That short stride, keeps his weight back. Short stroke for a big guy. A lot of times you see those fellows with that big looping swing trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. He's pretty compact for a big fella.
Curveball is fouled off. Out of the ballpark. So Sherry ahead of Lundblade, 0-2.
Sherry doing exactly what he wanted to do here, get ahead in the count. Lundblade, a good disciplined hitter at the plate, doesn't swing many balls out of the strike zone, but if I was Sherry, I'd try to give him the opportunity to chase one.
Let's see. Way outside. Solis blocking it and pouncing on it quickly. He's quick.
Solis wanted the ball out of the strike zone, too. You saw when he set up there, he was clear out of the strike zone, not even behind home plate. He wanted a ball out of the strike zone, and it was a breaking ball.
They're 2 battlers. Sherry has battled throughout the game. Solis is really a battler behind the plate.
He's working his pitcher. You can see that left foot is right behind the outside corner. The body, you're going to throw to the middle part of the body where that glove is, was probably 4 inches off the outside corner.
Counts 1-2 on Rick Lundblade, senior first baseman of the Stanford Cardinal. 2 men on, 2 men out here in the top of the 7th. That one's back up here off the press box window and back down into the crowd. Look at the press box, the upper press box here at Rosenblatt Stadium. Miami looking for its 60th win of the season. Fastball rides inside. Tough pitch.
Rick Lundblade hanging tough, fighting off the pitches. Now run the count to 2-2. Kevin Sherry having to extend himself a little bit.
Curveball hit high, deep to left field. Fiore's got room as he drifts back and makes the catch. So Stanford gets 2 base runners, a base hit and a walk, but they leave 2 men stranded. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning with Miami leading Stanford 12-3.
Run, 1 hit, square, 2 left.
Right here. We're in the bottom half of the 7th inning with Miami leading Stanford 12-3. This is Rusty DeBold stepping in. What a game he's had. 2 home runs and a double. Both homers over the right field fence, 4 RBIs. Solo homer in the 3rd, 3-run homer in the 4th. Don Rowland led off this bottom of the 7th by grounding out. DeBold has fouled it back. 1 man out, bottom half of the 7th. As you look at the shortstop, so 2 decisions that Ron Fraser battled with, if you want to call it a bit of a battle, at least he struggled with, deciding who his shortstop would be and who his designated hitter would be, and both have turned out to be gems for decisions. Decided to go with DeBold over Joe Nelson. DeBold is delivered. And there is Chris Magno, who was originally penciled in as a designated hitter. And instead, at the last minute, Greg Alina went in. He's hit 2 home runs. This one ripped into left field. 4th hit of the game for Rusty DeBold. What a game he is having.
Another decision was Julio Solis, and I don't think we should overlook the fact that he probably had a little something to do with the starting pitcher, Sherry, having such a good day. He did an outstanding job, and he's caught him throughout the season. They've worked very well together, and that was another decision that Ron Fraser had made.
Rusty DeBold came into the game hitting .291, has gone 4 for 4. And now we get a look at Chris Magno. He will pinch hit for Julio Solis. Magno, a junior from Staten Island, New York, goes 6'1", 190. Junior college transfer. That's Kevin Kunkel, 3rd pitcher in the ball game. We're also getting a pinch runner. DeBold comes out, and Mark Malizia will pinch run. What a game for Rusty DeBold. Big hand from the crowd, big smile on his face, and the pat on the back from his teammates. Herb Brown, what a game DeBold has had.
Hey, and I'll tell you, Ron Fraser is a piece of work, as we've talked about all day. They say that DeBold is his head shortstop, Nelson the tail shortstop. He denies it. I've talked to some of the people on the bench. They said that's exactly how he makes a decision. We'll ask about it later.
Magno hitting at .308. Pinch hitting for Solis. Kevin Kunkel came on in relief of Lee Plummel last inning. Hit hard up the middle. Stanisek goes to the shortstop Verducci and on to first. Double play. Stanford turns the double play and the sides retired. No runs, 1 hit, no one left on. 7 innings complete in Omaha, Nebraska. Miami 12, Stanford 3. The Miami Maniac is on the field. No, he's not in the lineup. He's just out to do a little entertaining as we get set to go to the 8th inning.
Is that Irv Brown? Did he put on a uni to get in this game?
Irv will do anything to get in the game. Right now, Alan Patino, the senior right-hander from Laval, Quebec, has gotten into the ball game. And credit Kevin Sherry, the starter, with an outstanding performance. He was in some trouble early in the game, but worked out of it and gave him what Ron Fraser needed, 7 strong innings.
Gave him everything that they could possibly hope for. They wanted 6 or 7 innings. They got the 7. Very tough in the early innings, working out of trouble a couple times, as you had mentioned. Gave up the 2 runs in the 6th inning, but by that time his club had a comfortable lead. Miami comes back with 5 more to make it a 12-3 game. He finishes it up strong in the 7th inning, pitching out of trouble again.
21st appearance of the year for Alan Patino. There is Ron Fraser, and Ron Fraser has just been named to the American Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame, one of 4 college baseball coaches named, along with Ted Thorin of Cornell, George Wolfman, former head coach at University of California, and Tom Petroff, the head coach at the University of Northern Colorado. And another great honor for Ron Fraser. That's Joe Nelson, who takes over at shortstop from the hero, one of the heroes, the big hero of the game, Rusty DeBold, who went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Joe Nelson is in at shortstop, and in behind the plate is Chris Magno, who pinch hit for Julio Solis. So new battery, Magno the catcher, and Patino the pitcher. Patino's 21st appearance of the year. He has a record of 9-2.
And Fraser giving his players a chance to get in the ball game, get their feet wet, in World Series competition in a ball game that's really not close. They're probably not going to be asked to make a crucial play.
Designated hitter Mike DeBennon is in. DeBennon has hit the ball well. He's had 2 doubles in the ball game. Driven in a run, scored a run. Miami has had 15 hits, Stanford 8. Whoa, that one behind DeBennon. Got away from the right-hander, Patno. Miami leading 12-3. A run in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and 5 in the 6th. Here's DeBennon's work for the day. He's had a good ball game. It's what you want your DH to do. He's delivered 2 hits and a walk. He's been on base 3 times. Fastball is low. 3-1 the count. There is bullpen action for Miami. The ace reliever, Rick Rather, is warming up. There he is. Side armor. Fastball from Patno. Counts full. Sherry went 7 innings, threw 122 pitches, allowed 3 runs, all earned, 8 hits, walked 3, struck out 2. Fine effort.
Good outing. Good outing. 122 pitches. That'll be a good workout. He'll sleep well tonight.
Hart with a backhand grab and the toss to Patno. 1 man out. Mike DeBennon goes back to the bench. You look at Ron Fraser. Very comfortable. He lets his assistants do a lot of the work during the ball game. What a career he's had. 23rd season at Miami, 927 wins. 2nd winningest coach in NCAA history. 3 times the coach of the year, national champion 1982. Chopper to 3rd. Leak to Hart. You can go on and on about Ron Fraser and what he's done for college baseball. A great promoter of college baseball. A great program he's put together in Miami.
Right fielder, Toy Cook.
And the fine players he has had down there.
And with 4 more outs, he will record the 60th win of the season for this Hurricane squad. That's some big numbers.
That is great. 2 men out in the top of the 8th. This is Toy Cook, the right fielder. Takes a curveball over. Cook, one of the starting cornerbacks on the Stanford football team. I like the idea of a guy being able to play 2 sports at a school. Paul, what do you think?
I like it also. It's very difficult to play one sport at a major university like Stanford, but the way they handle it, they go to football practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The baseball club has them over the weekend for their conference games. It's a good cooperation at Stanford. Not all programs are like that. Actually, you need to be a good football player to know that the time you're missing on the baseball team,
won't hurt you.
Somebody's not going to be coming along taking your job. It takes an exceptional athlete.
That curve misses. Rusty DeBold in the ball game for Miami. As you look at Mark Marquis, the head coach of Stanford, who's had a tough day. Rusty DeBold went 4 for 4, 2 homers, a double and a single, 11 total bases in the game. That ties a College World Series record set in 1952 by Pete Naton of Holy Cross. So quite a day by that young man. On the right of your screen, Rusty DeBold. He's explaining, well, no problem. When you see the ball on the outside, you go the opposite way, it flies over the fence.
I just came to the ballpark today. I really felt I was going to have a good day. You know, I felt good about it. I've been swinging the bat pretty good lately, and I had a good feeling when I got to the park.
Fastball just missed. Oh, Patno was heading for the dugout, but Cook goes to first instead. 2-out walk to Toy Cook.
24.
In the top half of the 8th inning. Don't forget, we'll be taking you to the Meadowlands in New Jersey for the New Jersey Generals and the Memphis Showboats, USFL football, live on ESPN. That's coming up at the conclusion of this game. And then later tonight, Texas and Arizona meet in Game 4 of the College World Series. John Sanders and Jim Price will bring it to you. Tomorrow, a live doubleheader in the losers bracket. Teams 5 and 6. Paul and I will bring you the game between Oklahoma State and South Carolina. Curveball on the ground. Leak has got it and makes the throw to second for the force. On Cook's side's retired. No runs, a walk, and a man left on. 8 runners left on for Stanford. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning with Miami leading 12-3. 9-1-2 coming up for the Hurricanes. He is 6'4", 205, and a freshman. As we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, Stanford has made another pitching change. Big right-hander Hugo Colella, a freshman from Sherman Oaks, California, making only his 7th appearance of the season, comes on. He has pitched a little over 16 innings. Stands 6'4", 205. Jeff Ballard started for Stanford. Allowed 7 runs in 4 1/3 innings. Miami roughed up the ace of the Stanford staff. Lee Plummel followed, and then Kevin Kunkel. Now Hugo Colella on, and this is Rick Ricciardi, the center fielder. Colella throws hard.
Throws hard, straight over the top, good size. Looks like good action on the fastball. Also, you might mention Ricciardi got that protective pad on his left forearm. Caught that again on the fence, and an injury. He's got good speed in the outfield. Plays very shallow, but can go back very quickly. We mentioned that.
Saw him run down a couple today. He doesn't shy away from fences.
He won't stop. He ran into a fence and received 30 stitches in the left forearm earlier this season.
Bottom half of the 8th inning, Miami leading Stanford 12-3 on the ground. Stanisek smothers it, gets up and gets Ricciardi. Quite a play by the senior second baseman, Pete Stanisek. Ricciardi with good speed. Stanisek, fine play.
Excellent play by any second baseman, moving far to his left, making a diving stop, keeping the ball underneath him. Get back in position where you can make the throw. See the wrist wrap underneath the body. Shook out the hand, kind of twisted it a little bit.
Back to the top of the lineup where Calvin James steps in and takes a strike. James has had 1 hit and a walk in the ball game. Struck out once. It's been a good year for Calvin James, hitting over 300. Captain of the Miami Hurricanes. Played on the national championship team in 1982. Changeup is in the dirt. Miami 12 runs, 15 hits, no errors. Stanford 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. We've seen some good defense in this World Series thus far. Good fastball. Lala looks like he's got to be throwing around 90.
He looks like he's got a good arm. We've seen some excellent defensive play by the outfielders today. Toy Cook in right field for Stanford. Walt Harris in left field also came up, made a good throw. Mike Fiore for Miami made a good throw. Ricciardi in center field made a couple nice catches. The defense has been excellent. All the runs that have scored have been a result of swinging the bat.
That's right. Miami with 4 home runs. James takes high. 2 home runs by Rusty DeBolt and 2 by Greg Alina. Irv Brown, they hit harder than you do.
You got that, Sam. Paul, you're talking about outfield defense, and we were talking a little bit over breakfast about Paul Blair and a guy named George Wright. Saw some time at Texas. They'd play behind second base. You could not get the ball over their head.
Ricciardi does a little bit of the same thing. Doesn't play quite as shallow as those two fellas, but he can run them down. There's no question about it.
Calvin James works a walk from Hugo Colella. One man out. Miami with a runner at first. James has been on base 3 times, twice by walk. Here's Mike Fiore, the left fielder. And Fiore's had a good ball game. Couple of hits, scored a couple of runs. Arkansas and Mississippi State won yesterday, and they will play each other on Monday. The winner of this game will play the winner of tonight's game between Arizona and Texas. Runner goes, and James is safe. Steals his 46th base of the season. He's got the green light anytime he wants, and he wanted.
John Ramos had a terrible pitch to handle to try to throw anybody out. Still almost threw out a fast runner. He's got an excellent arm behind the plate. Going to see a high breaking ball here up behind the hitter's head. Good speed down to second base. This is going to be a close play at second base when you wouldn't think it was going to be.
And he snuck the left hand in there. Calvin James, who leads Miami with 46 stolen bases. One man out, Fiore the batter. And the freshman Hugo Colella looking in. That's Frank Dominguez, another catcher who has done some DH work this season. He will pinch hit for John Leake. Ball gets away from Ramos, and James goes on to third.
Way to be aggressive.
The senior Calvin James at third. Hugo Colella throwing that ball around a little bit. Up and in, down in the dirt. Counts 2-0 on Mike Fiore. One man out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Miami leading Stanford 12-3. Good fastball. Another fastball hit in the air, deep right field, and slicing into the corner. A base hit, one hop to the wall. Fiore goes in with a double. An RBI double from Mike Fiore, and Miami leads 13-3. Just as he did last time up, Fiore going to right field. He hits well to right field.
His third hit on the day, second RBI. This ball a pitch out, away from him. Idea, just hit the ball hard, let it go where it's going to go. You don't worry about pulling it, hitting up the middle. Just get a good swing, good solid contact.
Freshman Frank Dominguez pinch hitting for John Leake. Leake had 1 for 3, 1 for 4 in the ball game, a single back in the 5th inning. Miami leading 13-3. Breaking ball in the dirt. Fiore at second with one man out. The Hurricanes of Miami, 16 hits in the game. And a lot of extra base hits. 4 home runs, 2 by DeBolt, 2 by Alina. Fastball is low. Fastball, big swing by Dominguez. Dominguez, a freshman from Miami. Dominguez hitting at .291 with 9 home runs, so he has some power. Got that big swing off the foot of the pitcher and into left field. Around third is Fiore, he'll score. And Miami leads 14-3. It's a single for Dominguez, and that was a shot up the middle off the foot of Colella and caromed right into left field.
Another run for Miami. The Hurricanes lead 14-3. The freshman, Hugo Colella, will leave after pitching just a third of an inning and allowing 2 runs. Miami now leading 14-3. And coming on to pitch is David Harris, a senior from Westminster, California. Right now, it's time for another College World Series flashback as we take you back for a look at some of the top performers who have starred here in Omaha, Nebraska. As a sophomore, Miami's Calvin James was the spark plug to Miami's rise to a national title in 1982. But his storybook season ended in Game 2 of that series as he injured his knee in the first inning. The injury sat him down for the rest of the series as well as the entire 83 season. But he came back strong in the 84 College World Series. Fastball hit high and deep to right center field. Way back, that ball is gone. A home run for Calvin James. A 3-run homer, and he's got to slow down. He almost ran up the back of Bill Lane. Calvin James is having another fine year. He's the captain of the Miami team this year. Came into the ball game hitting .317, helping to lead the Hurricanes into the College World Series once again.
Fifth-year senior with a lot of experience, a completely reconstructed knee. That's one of those tricky surgeries that physicians are able to do now, where they rebuild it, take ligaments, cartilage from other parts of the body, put things back together. There's all kinds of rehabilitation work. I'd seen it done on a Royals pitcher that got hurt in a collision at home plate, got kind of blindsided by a runner. He did a lot of work, the weight work and the conditioning, the stuff to come back from an injury like that. That's a long road.
Had a look at John Nochi, pinch running at first base, and here is the designated hitter, Greg Alina. And we talked about the day Rusty DeBolt had. How about Alina? First time up, fly deep to left, then he singled, homered, and homered. 5 RBIs. Nochi running, and that one lined into right field, a base hit. Taken on a hop by Toy Cook, gets the ball into the infield, but on to third goes Nochi. And Alina has 4 straight hits. He's 4 for 5 in the ball game. And runners at first and third for Miami with still only 1 out.
Yesterday we had a great pitching matchup. Things in baseball can be so contagious, Sam. Yesterday all the pitchers had things going. Now with Miami, several players hitting the ball well. Now the other players pick up on it. It has snowballed. We got a blowout on our hands.
Wow. 18 hits for Miami. Here's Chris Hart, the only starter without a hit for Miami. Boy, will he take some ribbing after this game?
He got a chance to save himself right here.
He better get one here. Otherwise, he may not hear the end of it until their next game on Tuesday. Winner of this game will play the winner of tonight's game between Arizona and Texas on Tuesday night. Right now, Miami with the big lead, 14-3. David Harris making only his 5th appearance of the season. Senior from Westminster, California. And you can see tough on right-handers the way he drops down. Number 9 is Mark Marquis, the head coach of Stanford. Hit in the air to right field, pretty deep. Cook going back, that ball is gone, a home run! That was helped along by the wind, no doubt, which is blowing out strong to right field. As Hart just reached out for that pitch, it's a 3-run homer. He does have a hit, and Miami leads 17-3.
That was really a pretty good pitch. Down in the strike zone in the outer part of the plate, we see the flag blowing from the left field pole to the right field pole, actually blowing that ball to a little bit shorter part of the ballpark, but that's still 343 out there, and he hit the ball as well as he possibly could for the location as it. First hit of the day, 3 RBIs. He can now sit around in the celebration and go on the one-upsmanship.
That's right.
With the rest of his teammates.
5 home runs in the game for Miami. Here's Hart again.
Reaching for that ball.
He didn't really hit that with all that much behind it, but the wind helped it. It carried. It's a 3-run homer. 1 man out here in the bottom of the 8th. Miami has come up with 5 more, leading 17-3. I'll tell you,
That's a happy dugout for Miami. A College World Series record with 5 home runs. 2 for DeBolt, 2 for Alina, and 1 by Hart. Rowland is thrown out. Harris, the one blade, 2 men out. Talked about Alina, the designated hitter. He has 33 hits this season, 13 home runs. It's pretty good. Nice ratio.
Bullpen catcher making the most of his opportunities.
Something. This is Joe Nelson, the shortstop, who replaced Rusty DeBolt. Nelson is a sophomore from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Good defensive ball player. DeBolt with a little more pop in his bat, says Ron Fraser, and that's why he started. Popped 2 home runs and drove in 4 runs, went 4 for 4. Nelson comes into the game hitting .262. Count is 3-0. Stanford will have to come back and play tomorrow night, facing elimination. They'll play the loser of tonight's game between Arizona and Texas. Bounce foul. Count is full on Joe Nelson. On the ground to short. Verducci across the Lundblade. Sides retired, but Miami has scored 5 runs and now leads 17-3 at the end of 8 innings. Right now, we want to send you to USFL football at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Generals are playing the Memphis Showboats. We'll take you to Tom Mees in our studio for an update on USFL action.
Individually with 2 in 1 game.
Well, I don't know if Miami will be national champions, but they're trying to take 1 step toward it. They lead 17-3 over Stanford, top half of the 9th inning, and the ace reliever of Miami's staff, Rick Rather, is on. 2-hopper to the shortstop. Nelson to Hart, 1 out. Verducci grounds out. There's Rick Rather. 19 saves, 2 shy of the NCAA record. What a season he's had. 37 walks, 87 strikeouts in 74 2/3 innings. That's John Nochi, who's moved in to play 3rd base in place of John Leake. Miami leading 17-3, 19 hits. When you talk about production, Stanasek takes a curveball inside. Miami's gotten 20 men on base, 17 have scored. They've left only 2 runners on base in the ball game.
And 1 got thrown out. Ron Fraser said that they put things together, do the best that they possibly can. Feels they may be a team of destiny.
A lot of heroes for Miami today. Alina, the designated hitter, with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. DeBolt, the shortstop, 4 for 4, 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Fine outfield play of Fiore and Ricciardi. The pitching of Kevin Sherry, who went 7 innings. That one hit hard but foul down the right side by Stanasek. Counts 2-1. So Miami will play again Tuesday night. A chance to rest up. Dan Davies likely to get the start. Their ace, who is 15-1. They'll play the winner of tonight's game between Texas and Arizona. That one is inside. Count is 3-1.
Ron Fraser had his club out early to the ballpark today. You remember he said he got him out of the hotel, thought they were a little squeaky, a little bit tight, wanted him to relax a little bit. I'm sure their next ball game they come in very loose.
There's Ron Fraser. Good pitch by Rather.
Rather will not get his 20th save today.
No, does not qualify for the save today. They give him plenty of runs. Just a little workout for Rick Rather today.
Frazier just wanted to see him in the 9th inning. Remember, he wanted to get to the late innings.
On the ground to Roland. 2 men out in the 9th. The Hurricanes of Miami. 7th time in the College World Series in the last 8 years. Last year they were 1-2, did not play well defensively, did not have the pitching. This year, they look like they may be a threat the way they played this ball game today. Good defense, hit the ball very well, 19 hits, 5 home runs, and got solid pitching from Sherry. Patino through the 8th inning, and now Rather in the 9th. This is Ruben Amaro on the ground to first, played unassisted by Hart. This ball game is all over. The Hurricanes of Miami have won their 60th game of the season and move into the winner's bracket in the College World Series. An overpowering performance as they beat the ace of Stanford, Jeff Ballard. Rusty DeBold, 2 home runs. Greg Alina hit 2. And Chris Hart hit 1. DeBold, the shortstop, got it going with a solo homer in the 3rd inning, a 3-run homer in the 4th, leading Miami to a 17-3 win. They'll play again Tuesday night against the winner of tonight's game between Texas and Arizona. John Sanders and Jim Price will bring you that game right after USFL football. For Paul Splittorff, this is Sam Rosen. Thanks for being with us. Once again, the final score, Miami 17, Stanford 3.